about.
Today's game is being broadcast in Spanish where available using the SAP button on your television. Oakland has won the coin toss. They will defer. So San Diego will start with the football first. Back deep to receive the kick is Jacoby Jones. There is Sebastian Janikowski, who has a touchback rate this season of 71%. That's the highest of his career. 17 touchbacks for the 16-year veteran. There is Jacoby Jones. And we are underway in San Diego. Jones will take this one from 9 yards deep. And that does not pay off as Jones is stacked up at the 10-yard line. So San Diego will start with poor field position. In fact, they have a league worst start position this year, their own 21-yard line. Philip Rivers last week, the first quarterback in NFL history to throw for more than 500 yards with no interceptions and actually lose the football game. All those yards, but just 20 points. And Philip Rivers told us certainly the focus today is to try to get more points in the red zone. They were just 2 of 6 last week. Brandon Oliver gets the start at running back in favor of Melvin Gordon, who is active today. Rivers throwing on first down, caught by Malcolm Floyd, and tackle immediately made by DJ Hayden. As we take a look at the San Diego starting offense, and finally, King Dunlap and Orlando Franklin both missed the last 3 games because of injuries back in there for San Diego. And Ladarius Green starting at tight end. Antonio Gates inactive today because of a knee injury.
Well, Ladarius Green is a guy a lot of teams would like to have as their starting tight end, but make no bones, the Chargers will miss Antonio Gates today. But Ladarius Green is a nice luxury to have as a backup.
On 2nd and 3, it's Oliver with his first carry, and he is stuffed. Met at the line by Khalil Mack. And it'll be 3rd down at the Oakland defense. Mario Edwards Jr. He'll be stepping up now with the loss of Justin Tuck out with a torn pectoral for the rest of the season. Aldon Smith, 1.5 sacks on the year. And in the secondary, Charles Woodson picked off Peyton Manning twice 2 weeks ago in Oakland's last game against Denver. It's 3rd down and 2. Rivers out of the gun, pass is high and intercepted. Malcolm Smith on the return at the 10. Smith at the 5, and Malcolm Smith still fighting his way, tackled inside the 5 by King Dunlap. 3rd interception of Malcolm Smith's career, and Oakland has it 1st and goal.
Well, this is going to be one of those interceptions that the quarterback's going to get blamed for, but it throws it right in on the hands of the receiver, gets tipped up. The worst possible thing that can happen in the secondary for an offense is to get the ball batted up in the air. It's a bang-bang play right at the point where the ball's caught. You're not going to get a pass interference call, and that ball goes the other way.
They spot it at the 2-yard line. 1st and goal for the Raiders. They give to Latavius Murray. And San Diego's defense able to get the stop.
Well, Jack Del Rio told us coming into this game, we met with him yesterday, he mentioned that he felt his defense, they're going to play a lot of man-to-man defense with Ken Norton, the defensive coordinator, like to do. They challenged these San Diego receivers. They said they felt they matched up pretty darn well. It's already paid off for them. Look for some kind of movement out of Derek Carr right here.
What's up?
Gives it to Murray again up the middle, and no signal. Yeah, now we do. Touchdown Raiders. Murray's 3rd rushing touchdown of the season, and Oakland converts off the turnover.
And right away, the Oakland faithful who made the trip here to San Diego showed up in a big way. It already sounds like a coin flip as to who's the home team today, and the Raiders get off to an unbelievable start here early as they pound it in on the turnover, and there's no question. Reaches over there, you see with the left hand, reaches that ball over the goal line, and that is a touchdown, no doubt. You know, as a player, Steve Berline, you know this too, you're always looking to get that stress relieved in the game. The Raiders, a huge stress relief right there. Now they can relax and play their game. Chargers are full of problems right now.
Janikowski knocks through the extra point, and what a start for Oakland. It began with the interception by Malcolm Smith, and the Raiders turn it into 7. Latavius Murray with the touchdown run. It's 7-0 Oakland. Malcolm Smith's interception leads to 7 points, and the Raiders jump out to a 7-0 lead early first quarter here in San Diego. Latavius Murray with the touchdown run, just the 3rd rushing touchdown of the season for the Raiders. Jacoby Jones will let this one go, and a touchback by Janikowski as we go back to the interception thrown by Phillip Rivers.
Well, Phillip Rivers knows, and the Raiders know that all day long, this is what they're going to see, a single safety with man-to-man coverage across the board. No secrets. They're not trying to fool anybody, confuse anybody, but Phillip Rivers said our receivers have to win the one-on-one matchups. Ken Norton told us he felt that the Raiders were good enough to win those one-on-one matchups. That's where the battle's going to be today, and it's going to determine who's going to win this ball game.
And you might watch, too, if they're going to squat on those routes like that, the Chargers are going to put a foot in the ground and do a double move and try and get over the top. That's how you beat those defenders sitting on those routes.
On first down, Rivers looks to the air, sets up the screen to Oliver, and Oliver's not going anywhere. Thrown for a 2-yard loss. Curtis Lofton meeting Oliver behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, it looks like the Raider defense, Ken Norton, has these guys fired up today. You see them, number 1, great identification and recognition on that screen pass, but number 2, flying to that football, trying to get there and make the contact in swarms.
And we enjoyed talking to Ken Norton Jr. yesterday. A guy, easy guy to play for. You and I both agreed. A guy you'd like to have on your staff.
He was a great guy to play with, too. I was a teammate of his in Dallas.
Rivers, quick pass, Ladarius Green, tackle made by Smith, and it will be 3rd down for San Diego.
You can already see here this Raiders defense, and this is the way you want to play it if you're a defender. Aggressive. They are all over the receivers. Everybody's grabbing a guy and hanging on to him and sticking with him, and they've got guys up front with Khalil Mack and Aldon Smith who can really force Rivers to get rid of it.
Woodhead, the running back, on 3rd and 6. Rivers throwing left, incomplete. Intended for Stevie Johnson, broken up on the play by Nico Thorpe, and this Oakland defense will force San Diego to punt.
Well, very physical on the outside, right there at the right-hand side of your screen. You can see the contact. Now, a lot of times this year, that's getting the flag. You can see Nico Thorpe actually had his left hand on Stevie Johnson's right shoulder. That will be called a lot more times than not these days, but Nico Thorpe got away with one right there. Good physical, tight coverage.
So here's Mike Cyphers to punt it away to T.J. Carey. Cyphers injured his foot last week against Green Bay, but was able to practice all week. Carey from the 34. T.J. Carey across the 45 and tackled at the 46-yard line. Oakland coming out on offense, and they lead at 7-0.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest. Transparency. Low fares, nothing to hide. McDonald's, now serving all-day breakfast. And by Kelley Blue Book. Find out what you should pay for your next new car at KBB.com.
It's Super Monday on CBS, beginning with TV's #1 comedy, The Big Bang Theory, followed by the premiere of Supergirl, and then stay tuned for the Super Geniuses of Scorpion. It's an all-new Super Monday tomorrow on CBS. First quarter in San Diego, and the Raiders have a 7-0 lead. Derek Carr this season with 8 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 63% completion percentage, which is a bit up from last year, and we spoke with him yesterday, and he said the game has really slowed down for him in his second year.
It really has, and if there's one area that I think we need to look at today and focus on, he's come out and played very well in the first half of each of his games, but he's fallen off in the second half. for the Raiders to get to where they want to be, he's got to put 4 quarters of good football together.
They'll start this drive at their own 46-yard line. Carr over the middle, caught by Reese. And he's wrapped up by Denzel Perriman for a short gain. As we take a look at the Oakland starting offensive line, and all 5 have played every single snap this year. Donald Penn now in his 10th season. We already saw Latavius Murray with a touchdown run for the Raiders.
Yeah, they spent a lot of time in the bye week honing that running game, trying to get it on track. Murray has 80 rush attempts coming into this game. Nobody else on the Raiders has even 10. He's the guy if it's going to work.
On second down, they give it to Murray, trying to get around the right side. Flag comes in. Tackle was made by Donald Butler, and here's Jerome
Personal
Kroger.
foul, grabbing the face mask. Offense, number 77. 15-yard penalty, replay, second down.
So the penalty goes against Austin Howard, the right tackle for the Raiders.
You don't often see a face mask called on an offensive player. It sometimes hands to the face, but that's how the helmet got ripped off of Donald Butler. Obviously in on the tackle, and Austin Howard did not want to try and let Mr. Butler go make that tackle. See right there.
Hard to miss that.
Yeah, ripped right off his head. Heck of an effort by
Well, it's a worse
Donald
penalty
Butler.
because it's not an illegal hands to the face. It's a personal foul face mask, which is a much different penalty, and it's much worse for the Raiders.
So that makes it second down and 22 for Oakland. 1 on the play clock. Carr just gets it off. Carr tossing sideline to Cooper, and it's incomplete. Broken up by Jason Verrett, and that is a matchup not only to watch today, but for years to come. Cooper against Verrett. There is a flag down at the 42-yard line.
Illegal hands to the face. Defense, number 24. 5-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
So that's on the other side of the field against Brandon Flowers, who's really been struggling of late for San Diego.
Yeah, we've been talking about how the officials are going to call this on the outside, the physical play. Flowers has been victimized by that. You'll see this on the other side of the top of your screen, working against Crabtree, and that's
not a whole lot different than the one they didn't call.
Yeah, I mean, that's what players really complain about. If they call it on one side, call it on the other. If you call it 1 week, call it the next week. And I think the officials have a hard time getting that.
It gives Oakland a first down, 1st and 10. Carr trying to take a deep shot down the sideline, and it's dropped. Crabtree came back to get it. Had a beat on Flowers, but couldn't bring it in.
And Derek Carr was raving about the hands that Michael Crabtree has when we met with him yesterday. Best hands in the NFL. Well, this might be one of the easiest catches he ever had because Flowers was gone and out of the play. Crabtree sees the ball. No reason not to make that catch. That's a big play, and a guy with Michael Crabtree's caliber, he makes that catch 99 times out of 100. Just so unfortunately for them, that was the one time.
9th drop pass this season by the Raiders. That's Roberts in motion. Carr swings it to Murray. He juggles it and makes the catch. And he goes out at the 39-yard line. Gives us a chance to take a look at the starting defense for the San Diego Chargers. Corey Legit with 2 sacks on the season, including 1 last week of Aaron Rodgers. Denzel Perriman gets the start at linebacker again. Manti Te'o is inactive with an ankle injury. And Jimmy Wilson will start for the injured Eric Weddle.
And that's a position to really watch because, as we said in the open, the Chargers have not been without Eric Weddle since 2009. Jimmy Wilson, big shoes to fill.
Snaps a streak of 86 straight starts for Weddle, and before the snap, we have a whistle.
Official timeout for the injured player. There is no play.
And that's Melvin Ingram that hobbles off for San Diego.
Yeah, he
fell down. He's trying to get the officials' attention.
I think that was because, they had 12 men on the field.
Yes.
Was the injured player for San Diego, number 54.
Yeah, he's 54. He went down. Now they're looking at him. I don't know that he was hurt. He hopped up like,
Yep.
yeah. They were going to get caught with 12 guys on the field. And Ingram went down because he was the guy that was supposed to come out and did not get the substitution call, and he just went down like he was hurt. At least that's what it looks like it is. Now they are examining, so perhaps he does have some sort of ailment, but he hopped up pretty spry after they blew that play dead.
Let's count how many we have here on the field. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're wrong. They have 11 on the field, so we can't accuse them of deception right there.
So following the stoppage, Ingram cannot be on the field, and he's being attended to on the sideline. It's 3rd down and 9. Carr over the middle. Pass is caught for an Oakland 1st down. That was Taiwan Jones making the catch for 16 yards, and the Raiders move the chains.
Yeah, this is why Derek Carr is has taken a step forward. He has plenty of time, and he takes time to make sure he gets to that first read, and then finds Jones and just puts the ball right on, gives this guy a chance to make a play. And that Carr had plenty of time, offensive line working very well. Everything came together for the Raiders on that play.
3rd catch this season for Jones. Latavius Murray has a hole. Murray still going at the 30. A gain of 14 for Latavius Murray, and another 1st down for the Raiders.
Well, nothing fancy here. This is the Raiders, a 27th ranked team in the as far as rushing the football this year. We knew they focused on the run game in the bye week. That right side right there did a great job, led by Austin Howard, Jamarcus Webb, Rodney Hudson, the center. Everybody got up on that second level. That made it easy for Latavius Murray to get up there into that line and up into the secondary.
His longest run since week 3 in Cleveland. Meanwhile, for the Chargers, Melvin Ingram is back out on the field. With 8:04 to go, first quarter, it's 1st and 10. Carr to Crabtree, catches that one, and tackled by Flowers at the 24-yard line. And guys, that's going to be something to watch today. Carr picking on Brandon Flowers, keeping it away from Jason Verrett.
Yeah, it's great. It's just one-on-one coverage, and this is what the Raiders want with Crabtree, who has really been a great asset, particularly for Amari Cooper on the other side. We know Cooper's great gifts, but Crabtree, the perfect complement. As you said, we saw him drop one. That doesn't happen very often. That tough catch, he made that look easy. Having 2 guys on either side has really helped Derek Carr develop because he has a lot of confidence in both spots.
Carr 5 out of 6 now after that completion to Crabtree, and it's good for another Oakland 1st down. Denzel Perriman makes the stop.
That's a good example right there. One of the assets that Derek Carr has, the quick release. And let's look at what has happened with him so far in his career. The road, I would think it'd be road warrior, which is what we're saying pretty much. Struggles on the road. The Raiders have not been able to put it together, but they're a team that's playing at a much different level this year compared to last.
4th first down of this drive for the Raiders. On the carry, it's Olawale, and he'll get a couple. The 3rd-year man out of North Texas.
Yeah, that big, heavy group in there. They were just going on 1st down, really going to power run this right at the Chargers, and that's one of the things that I really liked about the Raider offense when you watch them on film. They have a lot of different personnel groups, a lot of formations, and they use both in both the run and the pass. Really keeps the defense honest, and it pays benefits, particularly in the run game.
Oakland's had success in the red zone this season. Carr to Rivera, and Rivera upended at the 11-yard line. It will be 3rd down. How about Derek Carr in the red zone in his career? 23 touchdowns, 1 interception. He's had a lot of success inside the 20. And now he'll be faced with 3rd down inside 6 minutes to go in a fast-moving first quarter.
That was a great play right there where they had the exact same formation flipped and they threw it instead of run it. But right here in the red zone, look for Latavius Murray in some way, shape, or form to get his hand on the ball. I like this running back right here next to Carr to get the football.
10th play of the drive, 3rd and 3. Carr, end zone, and it is broken up. Flowers on the coverage. The pass was intended for Crabtree, and Oakland will send out the field goal unit.
Well, you're right, Andrew. Earlier you said that Brandon Flowers is going to get a lot of targets today. He's matched up on Michael Crabtree all over the field. He knows he's going to get a lot of targets because of the respect that the rest of the league has for Jason Verrett on the other side. So it's going to be a lot of balls thrown to him. It's weird because Brandon Flowers long has been regarded as one of the best cover corners in the NFL, so it's unusual for him to be targeted. This talks a lot about his contemporary on the other side of the field.
Janikowski from 29, and that one's good. He missed two weeks ago against the Broncos, but Oakland has jumped out to a 10-0 lead. Never miss a moment of football action with the CBS Sports app. Every play and score, every game, every highlight right as they happen. Download the CBS Sports app now at cbssports.com/mobile. 5:21 to go first quarter here in beautiful San Diego, and it's been a sunny start for the Raiders. Out to a 10-0 lead following the field goal by Sebastian Janikowski. Mike McCoy, in his third year with the Chargers, knows Jack Del Rio very well. They were on the same staff in Carolina in 2002 and also in Denver in 2012. McCoy was the offensive coordinator, Del Rio the defensive coordinator. And San Diego will start this drive at the 20 when we come back. The NFL on CBS.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the Lexus IS200 Turbo and IS300 all-wheel drive. And by Bud Light. Stay in the game and drink responsibly.
Back in San Diego, where the Raiders have a 10-0 lead on the Chargers with Steve Berline and Steve Tasker. I'm Andrew Catalan. 5:21 to go in the first quarter. Phillip Rivers making his 151st consecutive start. That's the second longest active streak behind Eli Manning, who's making his 174th straight start today. On first down, Rivers, touch pass to Oliver, and it's incomplete. Well, how about the week last week for Phillip Rivers at Lambeau Field? A historic performance, 43 completions, 65 attempts, 503 yards, all franchise records. The completions tied for the second most in NFL history, and 500 pass yards, no interceptions. Just the fourth quarterback to accomplish that feat, but the first time that quarterback actually lost the game as the Chargers were held to just 20 points. Second down and 10. Rivers, that pass is on time and complete to Keenan Allen, who was questionable today with a hip injury. He caught 14 passes last week at Lambeau Field.
Yeah, 14 passes for 157 yards in just about 2.5 to 3 quarters. He was targeted 15 times. That's a pretty good connection percentage, 14 out of 15.
That catch sets up third down and 1. And Allen in the backfield here. Rivers, and it's caught by John Phillips. The tight end with his 6th catch of the season. It goes for a first down.
Well, this is going to be the contest. Phillip Rivers picking a window, finding one of these receivers to go out. Look at him. He looks back to his left, then comes back very fast to his right and guns it in. Smith has no chance. I mean, he's looking at Phillip Rivers, looking the other side of the field, and all of a sudden the ball's going right back to his guy. Great job by Rivers.
Rivers has 5 completions to 5 different receivers. It's first and 10. Rivers in trouble and just throws it away. And a late flag comes in. And that could be intentional grounding. Rivers is trying to say that Stevie Johnson was in the vicinity.
Now, Stevie Johnson did get knocked down before he could finish that.
Tripping. Defense, number 99. 10-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Instead, it goes against Oakland and Aldon Smith, and it gives the Chargers a first down.
Wow.
That was close. I don't know.
He seemed like he was tied up and his leg just kind of swung out. It has to be an intentional trip in order for that to be called a penalty. I don't know how do you determine whether that's intentional or not. I think he was just trying to find Rivers.
That's a horrible call. I'll say it myself. That's bad. That is not a good call.
Yeah, that is a reaction by a referee.
You weren't ready
saw
to go
the leg go out. No,
you didn't sound ready to say it. I'll say it. It was a terrible call.
Well, moves San Diego all the way up to the 44-yard line with 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. Rivers slings it, and it's caught by Dontrell Inman, and another flag comes in. Back at the line of scrimmage.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 99. Throwing the quarterback to the ground after the play. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
2 in a row on Aldon Smith, and San Diego moves into Oakland territory.
Well, they got the wrong number. Yeah, it's not Aldon Smith. You can see here.
Mario Edwards.
Yep. Grabbed him by the back of the jersey, throws him to the ground.
Edwards, the rookie out of Florida State, a second-round pick, starting for Justin Tuck, who's now out for the season. So 3 Oakland penalties for 40 yards here in the first quarter. Rivers now 6 completions to 6 different receivers. It's Woodhead on the carry, and Woodhead is wrapped up by Malcolm Smith. And guys, Melvin Gordon active today with the ankle injury. He was questionable, however. 2 fumbles last week in Green Bay, was benched the final 36 minutes, and we have not seen Melvin Gordon so far today.
And I think there's a lot of reason why he's not on the field right now. The insecurity with the football. He didn't practice this week, so he wasn't getting hit during the course of the week. I think Mike McCoy wants to be very careful with how he uses Melvin Gordon today.
Rookie first-round pick out of Wisconsin. 2nd and 6. Rivers on the move, flag is down, and Rivers' pass is complete. That's to Keenan Allen, but the Raiders are indicating it's a hold against San Diego.
Offense, number 76. 10-yard penalty, replay, second down.
Goes on DJ Fluker.
Well, it's hard when you're a big offensive lineman and your quarterback is Phillip Rivers, who's usually standing right behind. You know where he is all the time. He's in the pocket. He doesn't get out on the outside very often. When he does flush once in a while, those linemen react and grab because they're not used to seeing those defensive linemen take off.
On 2nd and 16, Rivers fires over the middle, caught by Keenan Allen, tackle made by Hayden. But the Chargers get a bunch of that penalty yardage back, a gain of 12.
And now they have another offensive lineman who stayed down in the backfield. As you see Keenan Allen coming off the ball, this is why Phillip Rivers likes to have his offensive lineman healthy, is so he can drop back and let a deep route develop. And then as he does that, once again, Orlando Franklin stays down and has to come off the field.
So Franklin hobbles off. We're back in a moment. 2 weeks, 2 top teams. The Dolphins meet Tom Brady and the Patriots on CBS and NFL Network. And then the Browns take on the undefeated Bengals only on NFL Network. That's Thursday, November 5th. Patriots and Dolphins both with victories today, and Miami looks completely different under Dan Campbell, now 2-0 after they fired Joe Philbin.
Big third down here for San Diego. We got important for Phillip Rivers in this offense to get some points on the board. Touchdown, just to get themselves back into this ball game.
Kenny Wiggins goes in at left guard for Orlando Franklin. And now we have a stoppage.
Yeah, this San Diego offense had 6 drives of 10 plays plus last week, only scored on 3 of them.
Correct the game clock to 2:22. 2:22, and it will start on the ready for play.
So while they did move the football in Green Bay, they're not scoring points that are commensurate with the number of yards they eat up in a game. They have a hard time punching it in, and this Raider defense is very good in the red zone.
San Diego 1 for 3 on third downs here in the opening quarter. Rivers gets rid of it to Woodhead. Woodhead puts his head down, and that's right at the sticks. That'll come down to the spot. Rivers had to get rid of it quickly as Khalil Mack was coming with pressure for the Raiders.
Looks to me like it might be just short. That's from our bird's eye view up here, but I think Mike McCoy is going to have a decision to make. Whether he wants to just take the sure thing 3, you would think, or push for that touchdown.
Chargers have gone for it 4 times on 4th down this year. They're 1 for 4, including that failed final play at Lambeau last week, and that one is short. It's going to be 4th and inches for Mike McCoy and the Chargers, who coached a very aggressive game last week at Lambeau, but
they're going for it.
Here he is going to go for it.
I like the decision by Mike McCoy. I think you can definitely justify it in this case. This is a team that needs to have confidence shown from their coach. He believes in them. A lot of young players on this team.
I think it's the right call. You've got one of the most masterful quarterbacks in the league. You know you can trust that the play's at least going to get off and be run properly. They're going to have everything like that right. You got to trust your players on a 4th and short like this. Phillip Rivers is the difference for me. Let him go.
And he'll make sure they're in a good play, whether it's a run or a pass.
Oliver is the running back.
They're not going to run a play.
8 on the play clock. Rivers walking away.
Yeah.
And they're not going to go for it.
Well, they trusted him not to at least mess up the play to try and fool him. I thought they were going to run a play. I mean, Rivers is good at that.
Well, they had worked on that specific execution several times in practice, guaranteed. And right there, Mike McCoy had no intention of going for it. He's going to take the sure points. I think he could have justified it either way.
Tip your hat to the Raiders. That is a good quarterback doing everything he can to fool them, and they were disciplined enough not to on a drive where they had over 40 yards in penalties. When they really needed it, they came up and were disciplined.
And you got to give credit to Jack Del Rio. We just saw him there on the sideline. He's established a culture of accountability.
So Josh Lambeau out to attempt a 40-yard field goal. He's missed 2 on the season. This one is good, and the Chargers are on the board with 1:18 to go in the first quarter. Mike McCoy decides to kick it, and his team now trails by 7. The wait is over. The world premiere of Supergirl is just 1 day away. Be sure to see what everyone will be talking about. Supergirl premieres tomorrow after a new Big Bang Theory, only CBS. This is a lively crowd in San Diego today, as a number of Raider fans are here in attendance, as you would expect, for this AFC West battle between the Raiders and Chargers. San Diego has had the better hand of the Raiders lately. They've won 3 straight, 6 of 7, and 19 of the last 23. Tywan Jones on the return, and he is stopped at the 23-yard line. So back comes Derek Carr, who said he spent his bye week back home in Bakersfield with his family. And 10 first quarter points for the Raiders today. They had a total of 13 in their first 5 games of the season.
Interesting stat about Derek Carr. 31 times he's been sacked in 21 games of his career. His older brother, David Carr, long career, but not as successful as he would have liked. Took him 5 games, his first 5 games, to get sacked. As many as Derek has been sacked in 21 games.
And back in Bakersfield, David Carr really appreciates that stat, Steve Berline. It's Murray on first down. And he's tripped up from behind. Corey Legit makes the tackle. Corey Legit, we had a chance to sit with him on Friday. His 5th year out of Illinois. Big fisherman. Said he caught a yellowtail last year south of Mexico that was 32 pounds.
That's a pretty good fish.
That's a nice fish for a big guy, too. Final 35 seconds of the first quarter. Still no catches for Amari Cooper. It's Murray. Down the right side, Murray with a hole. And a burst of speed across the 40. A gain of 17 for Latavius Murray in what could be the final play of the first quarter.
One of the things that we knew coming into this game, the Raiders were going to try and run the football. This Chargers defense ranked 29th in the NFL against the rush. So we're going to see a lot more of that if they don't play a little bit tougher than they have been to this point.
That is the end of the first, with the Raiders leading the Chargers 10-3. We'll return to San Diego after these messages. You're watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 50. Start of the second quarter in San Diego. The Raiders have a 10-3 lead with Steve Berline, Steve Tasker, our entire NFL on CBS crew. I'm Andrew Catalan. We thank you for joining us week 7 on an overcast day here in San Diego, but quite warm. Temperature right around 80 degrees. Raiders with 1st and 10 to start the second quarter. They give it to Taiwan Jones. Has some room around the right side, and Jones with a first down. Dragged down from behind by Ricardo Matthews after a gain of 13.
Well, the Raiders doing a nice job off the right side. You see there as Howard gets out in front and then catches the pursuit, pushes it up the field behind the runner. Great job, of course, by Ricardo Matthews running him down from behind, but that's a great job at the point of attack. Raiders having some success off their right side.
It's been a major problem for San Diego all year. Their run defense is 29th in the NFL. Carr to the air, over the middle, wide open, Cooper. Amari Cooper's first catch of the day. 1st and 10 for the Raiders at the 30-yard line, a gain of 15.
Fun guy to watch play the game, this Amari Cooper. Everything you hear about him is just so positive. Nothing lacking in terms of a skill set. He's got great size, great speed, and so surprisingly, incredible feet for a big man. And it makes him a very difficult package to cover.
Carr to Crabtree. And he dives up to the 23-yard line, made that catch in front of Jimmy Wilson. Now, we sat with Derek Carr last night, and he said that the way that Cooper and Crabtree complement each other has meant so much for this offense, not just on the field, but off the field, in the wide receivers' meeting room. Crabtree, that veteran, will, give a little jab or two to Cooper, try to keep him on his feet, a little trash talk in a friendly way, but they're very happy with this 1-2 punch so far this season. 2nd and 3. Carr looking for Wolford. He's got it. Touchdown. Clive Wolford, his first NFL touchdown. What a pass from Derek Carr, who said that he thinks Clive Wolford can really be a special player in this league. Only his 4th catch, but it goes for 6.
Wolford coming right off the end of the line. He's working right there against Jimmy Wilson. A big tight end getting manned up by a cornerback, and he beats him to the corner of the end zone. They told us, Jack Del Rio, they told us they just scratched the surface with this guy. They want to get him involved more, and you can obviously see why.
A 3rd-round pick out of Miami, as Janikowski's extra point is good. On that drive, Derek Carr 3 for 3 for 45 yards, and the Raiders have opened up a 17-3 lead. Clive Wolford, one of the many young faces specifically on the Raiders offense, but we spoke with Jack Del Rio yesterday, and he said not only are young guys talented like Carr, Murray, Wolford, Cooper, Khalil Mack on the other side of the football, but they're good guys. He says that they all are eager to learn. They're good teammates. It brought a different dynamic to this Oakland club, and it's a dangerous recipe for opponents going forward. Jacoby Jones out of his own end zone. He is stuffed at the 15-yard line. Keith McGill with a big tackle on special teams as we go back to that touchdown.
Well, here's Clive Wolford right here, but I don't want you, he's actually right here on the inside, excuse me. I don't want you to watch that. I want you to look at this up here. Amari Cooper comes down and literally runs over the top of the defender. If Derek Carr did not throw a touchdown pass on the right side, he would have been killing himself for missing a wide open receiver up top, and that really should have been a pick.
That play should have
penalty called against the Oakland Raiders.
It should have been nullified.
Should have nullified the touchdown. Amari Cooper ran right over the top of the inside defender.
So now Phillip Rivers, with his team trailing by 2 touchdowns, will start this drive backed up at his own 16. Out of the gun, Rivers Caught by Keenan Allen and stretches up to the 21-yard line. Deron Ball, the rookie out of Florida, makes the tackle. Keenan Allen, who was questionable today because of a hip injury, leads the NFL in catches, coming into the day with already 53 on the season. 3 more today gives him 56. Rivers back down, it's intercepted! Picked off by DJ Hayden.
It's a tough throw to hit, Steve.
It is, and you got to put this one on Phillip Rivers. You know, spinning around, turning his back to him, a little bit of pressure coming in his face. He couldn't get into it the way he wanted to, but Keenan Allen and Phillip Rivers are always on the same page. You got to think that that ball was thrown in the wrong spot. Now there's good tight coverage on the outside.
I think
by DJ Hayden.
I think, too, the timing was thrown off by the physicality on the outside. Hayden was being physical, and he held Allen up. He wasn't in the spot where Phillip Rivers was expecting him to be, and that it was defended on both ends, at pressure and also the hold up at the line of scrimmage.
Look for the Raiders to come out and attack right now. I think Derek Carr, Bill Musgrave, offensive coordinator, might take a shot right here.
3rd interception of Hayden's career. 2 of the 3 are off of Phillip Rivers, who now has 2 picks here in the first half. Carr off the hands of Taiwan Jones and incomplete. Rivers now with 7 interceptions on the season.
Well, here's the matchup right up here at the top. All it is a straight comeback down the side, and Phillip Rivers, again, he's got pressure in his face, and I think that's what threw the throw off a little bit, and he had to get that ball up a little bit earlier than he wanted to, and you're right. Keenan Allen there was some physicality on the outside. It just threw the timing off. Phillip Rivers knows, though, if he's going to miss that throw, it's got to be outside toward the sideline where either his guy's going to get it or nobody.
He's got to throw that over Jack Del Rio's head.
Down! We're waiting! What's up?
And we have some movement on the line, and flags fly. 12:21 to go, second quarter.
I think they're going to get Lee Smith, the big tight end, number 86.
He might have been drawn off sides by
Neutral zone infraction.
You're right.
Defense, number 54. Cause no reaction from this offense. 5-yard penalty, second down.
And the problem is, if the guy's not in the neutral zone, it doesn't count. Now, right at the top of the screen up here, see that, yeah, he's in the neutral zone there, and that's caused the reaction.
Yep.
Now, the defender can move, but he just can't move forward. Some guys will get guys snapping up to a stand-up real quick, and that'll cause a reaction. That would be on the offense. But he crossed the line, and that's the defensive foul.
Empty backfield on 2nd and 5. Carr on the run. Completes it to Cooper, who's shoved out of bounds inside the 20-yard line.
Well, this is a great job by Carr, just staying poised, just giving his guys a chance and waiting patiently. He buys himself good time. That's a great throw. I mean, it's a great job by the quarterback, just buying some time and making something out of nothing.
And the awareness to see that Donald Butler, the linebacker, was trying to keep up with Amari Cooper right there. Cooper's going to win that battle more times than not.
Down! We're waiting! What's up?
Here's Murray. Runs into the line and then thrown down to the ground. Cavell Connor, one of the first to get there for the Chargers.
Oh, this is about as stout as the San Diego defensive front has been today against the run. See the Raiders just trying to get physical up in there, a little bit of a counter action, but great job at the point of attack by that defensive front, and specifically Cavell Connor, the middle linebacker, did a great job of creating penetration up in there.
Flag is down.
Yeah, too many men in the huddle.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, second down.
That's a sloppy mistake by the Raiders.
Those are the ones that drive coaches crazy. The ones that you have complete control over. The confusion before a snap. There's no excuse for that.
Raiders have shown some balance so far today. 8 carries, 13 passes. Coming in to the week, they have the second fewest carries of any team in the league. Only Miami runs the ball less than Oakland.
One-on-one matchups.
Carr fires, caught by Crabtree, and tackle made at the 15-yard line. That was Patrick Robinson on the coverage. It will be third down for Oakland.
Does a great job just coming out. It's very simple. Makes it look easy when these things work. It's great, but that Phillip Rivers on a play a little bit similar. It's all about the defense and what the quarterback is willing to do. Takes the link. He sees the cushion that the defensive back has given Crabtree and slings it out there early and gives him a chance to make a play. The man-to-man coverage makes everything different, and today the Raiders are getting the best of it.
Third down and 5. Oakland 1 for 2 here in the first half on third downs. Quick pass to Jones, and he is dragged down by Jaleel Adai. Jones nearly was able to get away from Adai and scramble for a first down, but instead Janikowski comes out for a field goal attempt.
Well, if you're San Diego, you consider this a success after the turnover deep in their own territory or on their side of the field. To hold the Raiders to a potential field goal, that keeps you in the ball game at least.
Janikowski 1 for 1 today. He made from 29. This is from 32, and it's true. 9:28 to go first half. The Raiders tack on 3 more here in San Diego.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Verizon. Watch live primetime games with NFL Mobile only on Verizon. Charles Schwab. Own your tomorrow. And by Acura, the leading automotive brand in safety performance.
Aerial coverage of today's game is provided by MetLife. Miramar, California, which annually hosts a world-famous air show. It happened here earlier in October. Chargers trail 20-3. And an injury update for San Diego. Denzel Perriman, his return is questionable because of an arm injury. Remember, Perriman starting today for Manti Te'o, who's out with an ankle injury. Jones on the return. Flag is down. Jacoby Jones shoved out by Thorpe at the 47. There are actually 2 flags down on the field. So we'll see if this stands.
The Charger offense walking down inside their 20. They didn't think it's against them.
There were 2 fouls on the play, both against the receiving team. Holding, receiving team, number 89. That penalty declined. Holding, receiving team, number 48. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
Double whammy against the Chargers. Ladarius Green and Nick DeZubnar called for the holding penalties. So San Diego once again will have poor field position, and it wipes off a 53-yard return by Jacoby Jones.
Yeah, those are the kind that really get into, we talked about the ones that happened before the play in the huddle, whatever, like the Raiders had last series. But right there, Mike McCoy, you get a nice return. All of a sudden, you get put back inside of the 10-yard line.
Orlando Franklin, who left earlier with an injury, is back at left guard for San Diego. Still no Melvin Gordon today. Rivers, nice catch by Keenan Allen. He had some beauties last week at Lambeau and doesn't get much yards on that, but still a nice one for Keenan Allen. Rivers with 2 picks in the first half.
Well, we're used to seeing Phillip Rivers surgeon out there. Very, very accurate with his throw. And even that last pass, even though it was a catch, it was not an accurate throw by Phillip Rivers. He's struggling for whatever reason today with his accuracy.
2nd and 5. A pass over the middle, and it's caught by Green, who's immediately met by Malcolm Smith. It will be third down. Phillip Rivers and his wife, Tiffany, are expecting their 8th child. In fact, Phillip thought the baby might come last week when they were out in Lambeau, and they're still waiting. And we met with him Friday, and he said, I really hope the baby comes before the game on Sunday. But when we checked with the Chargers PR staff, Tiffany and Phillip are still waiting for their daughter, number 8. Third down and 2. Rivers gets rid of it, incomplete. Pressure was coming as Rivers was trying to find Keenan Allen, and a 3-and-out forced by this Oakland defense.
And that was a throwaway. Rivers didn't really think he was going to complete that. He was hoping maybe something would happen, but the pocket was collapsing around him. Great pressure on the outside by Aldon Smith, and he could see Big Williams, Dan Williams, coming right up the middle, collapsing that pocket. And that pressure and the collapse of the pocket just forced Phillip Rivers just to get rid of it.
Second 3-and-out today by the Chargers. Cypher's punt bounces, and now Carey picks it up. And Carey is taken down by Dzudnar at the 46-yard line. 7:58 to go. Raiders will try to add to their lead when we return. Tonight, Week 7 continues with Sunday Night Football on NBC, and tomorrow with Monday Night Football on ESPN, and then Week 8 kicks off with Thursday Night Football on CBS and NFL Network. Oakland has capitalized off 2 San Diego turnovers.
You see they're getting batted into the air. That turns into a touchdown right here by Latavius Murray, and then the pick on the outside turns into the Janikowski field goal in a 17-point lead. 10 of those points are off turnovers by the Chargers.
And both of those turnovers led to incredible field position for the Raiders. And again, right here, even though this is off of a punt, the return by TJ Carey. Again, the Raiders are starting in San Diego territory, and we all know that is playing with fire.
Average starting field position for Oakland today is San Diego 42-yard line.
Wow.
They start this one at the San Diego 47. First and 10. Carr, play action. Chased, in trouble, and sacked. Brandon Flowers coming up to make the sack, just the 3rd of his career.
Well, that Flowers will get the sack, but Jerry Atauchu is the guy that makes the play. Watch as this play develops. Atauchu right there forces Carr to go right to Flowers for the sack. Great job penetrating on a hard inside move by Atauchu, and it turns into the sack for Flowers.
A 7-yard loss. And San Diego has picked it up in the sacks department of late. 10 in their last 3 games. Murray trying to get some of those yards back. It will be 3rd down and long for Oakland. Well, keep in mind for this San Diego defense, Eric Weddle not playing today for the first time since 2009. He had made 86 straight starts for John Pagano's defense. There is Weddle watching a groin injury last week at Lambeau and did not practice this week, and no go today. Corey Leggett told us Friday it's just weird not having Weddle out there, who really organizes. He's the quarterback of that defense. 3rd and long. Carr taking a shot deep for Cooper. Cooper makes the play! 1st and goal, Raiders! A gain of 45. That has killed San Diego all year, giving up the big play. This one goes all the way down to the 7-yard line.
All Amari Cooper's going to do is run straight down the field. You're going to see the safety, which is Jimmy Wilson, coming over to the middle of the field. This ball should have been intercepted. Derek Carr thought there was nobody back there, but look at how big Amari Cooper is. Just goes up and out jumps Jimmy Wilson, who was in perfect position to make that play.
And Jimmy Wilson is starting today for Eric Weddle.
Exactly.
1st and goal. Carr to Reese. Reese at the 5, still pushing the pile. Marcel Reese all the way up to the 1-yard line.
We talked to Corey Leggett, who said the thing about this Raider team, their offensive line is enormous. You see a flag comes in late, and you can understand why. A lot of extracurricular stuff on that play. That turned into a scrum, getting pushed in to the end zone. All the offensive linemen rallied to Marcel Reese and tried to push him across the line, and that's allowed. You can push, you just can't pull a guy across, and that turned into a big, fat mess at the goal line.
That's putting it bluntly.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense number 72. 15-yard penalty. The down counts. Second down.
That's on Donald Penn, playing in his 134th straight game today, and there he is, 72. An unnecessary shot, or two, or three.
Well, Legion, now no question, that's a penalty right there. On that right there, the kick is going to be a fine.
No doubt about
it. You can't do that, and that's something that
Ndamukong Suh has found out about several times, but very costly penalty. I don't know how you don't call offsetting there.
Yeah, it's going to cost Donald Penn or the Raiders a penalty, but it's going to cost Corey Leggett some money.
Oakland has called timeout with 5:28 to go in the first half. It's second and goal. Well, Mike Carey is our officiating expert back in New York. And Mike, what did you see on that last play?
Well, I saw two flagrant fouls. I think the push was a good call, but the call that was missed was the kicking, and that's an automatic ejection.
Automatic ejection, wow.
Wow, that's an enormous miss.
That was a blatant kick. I don't know how you missed that.
This. Yeah, I mean, the official right here has got to be seeing that. Corey Leggett is lucky to be still playing in the game, and I guess, Mike, you're right. I mean, how do you miss that two-footed right up into the guy's chest? And you saw the first penalty.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to get the number of whoever was that penalty was on, and it's easy to miss the retaliation sometimes when you catch the first one.
Wow. You officials are unbelievable. You can't miss the retaliation. You always call the retaliation.
Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't.
That should be noted that Mike Carey once ejected Steve Tasker from a game. In fact, it was Steve Tasker's last game. Well, thank you, Mike. Carr, end zone, incomplete, looking for Rivera.
Well, it was my last game. Mike told me to go get lost and don't come back, so here I went. I'm in the booth ever since.
And now you get the last word because you're in the booth and Mike's back in New York. That's not fair for Mike.
Well, lost in all this humor is the fact that the Raiders took themselves out of a golden opportunity to really put this game in dangerous, pretty much out of reach for the Chargers unless you have a quarterback like Phillip Rivers. But they had the ball down inside the 2. Now they're looking at third and goal from the 17-yard line.
And we have movement and a flag comes in.
False start. Offense. Number 77, 5-yard penalty, third down.
Coming into today, the Raiders in their 2 wins had 28 combined penalties, 28. That's all it took, that little quiver right there. In their 3 losses, they only had 16 combined penalties. So when the Raiders are winning games, they're getting way more penalties than they are when they're losing. So
figure that one out.
Yeah. 6 penalties today for 65 yards. So it's third and goal from the 21-yard line now. Reyes coming with pressure. Carr gets rid of it to Smith, his tight end. Smith is tackled at the 13-yard line, so Janikowski will have to come out for his 3rd field goal attempt of the first half.
Well, yeah, that was a function of the down and distance. You don't dump that off to Lee Smith thinking he's going to make 6 guys miss. Lee Smith turns it up and he's going to find somebody to hit rather than a miss.
Well, it's a smart play by Derek Carr not to try and force it into the end zone. Knowing the situation, you're going to go up 20 with your kicker, Sebastian Janikowski, one of the best in the league, although he missed 2 last week.
This is now the 5th time in Janikowski's career that he's had at least 3 made field goals against the Chargers. It's feisty here in San Diego. Oakland adds to its lead.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you gotta get DirecTV.
Back in San Diego, and tonight on 60 Minutes, the first and only look inside the U.S. air war against ISIS, plus an interview with Vice President Biden. That's only on 60 Minutes tonight. Well, the Chargers need some electricity here with 4:41 to go. How about this? Most points in the first half for the Raiders against San Diego since 1985. And the Raiders were in Los Angeles. San Diego will start this drive at the 20-yard line.
Well, it's very surprising to me that we're sitting here looking at this game the way that it is. Coming into this game, the Raiders were the absolute worst team pass defense in the NFL, giving up almost 300 yards a game, going against the #1 pass offense in the NFL, the San Diego Chargers, and the Chargers have just not been able to get any rhythm whatsoever today, and the careless throws or inaccurate throws by Philip Rivers really cost them.
Largest lead the Raiders have had in any game in 2 years. They were playing the Chargers in 2013. Here's Oliver on first down. And Oliver picks up 4 on the play. Again, we have not seen the rookie Melvin Gordon today. There he is without his helmet on the sideline. 2 fumbles last week in Green Bay. Did not return to the game after the second fumble. Benched for the final 36 minutes. And it's been Oliver and Woodhead. And here is Oliver again. Oliver spinning his way, and he's got a half-yard short of a first down.
To this point, Philip Rivers has thrown for 62 yards. This Raiders defense has given up 250-plus yards in 8 consecutive games, which is the longest active streak in the NFL. Just more to try and comprehend. I can't quite figure out what it is, but the Raiders are just out executing them right now.
3rd and 1. Oliver. And with that spot, it looks like he'll have a first down. Oakland's defense, facing 3rd and 1 this year, has done a remarkable job. They've held opponents to just 4 of 11 conversions on 3rd and 1 coming into this game, but Oliver's able to scoot through and move the chains.
Not by much. It didn't look like he made it by a whole heck of a lot, but
this Charger offense has been all year very good at getting first downs. They have more first downs than they actually do points in this last week's game against Green Bay.
Rivers looking for Green, incomplete.
Pass is incomplete, intended for Lentarius Green.
These are throws that, even though that was I would by no means say that's an easy throw. I've been in that position, but Philip Rivers, you get spoiled watching them. He makes these throws look easy, generally speaking. Lentarius Green, there was room to drop that ball in there, have a nice completion. He just overthrew him.
Rivers 11 of 17 for just 62 yards in the first half. And that run by Oliver will set up 3rd down and long. Stacy McGee in on the tackle. McGee starting for Justin Ellis today, who's inactive with an ankle injury. So big 3rd down here for San Diego. Time ticking away in this first half, inside 2:40 to go.
It's imperative for the Chargers to get something on the board on this drive. They've got to convert this 3rd down.
Rivers off his back foot, caught by Ladarius Green for a first down, but there is a flag back at the line of scrimmage. It's a hold against the Chargers.
Holding. Offense, number 74. 10-yard penalty. Replay 3rd down.
That's on Orlando Franklin, the left guard, so they'll have to do it again.
You're going to see right here, there's Franklin. He's got Khalil Mack lined up over him. You got Khalil Mack and Aldon Smith on the same side of the defense. That's a lot of pressure to put. You got a Khalil Mack locked up on a guard. That's a tough matchup on a guard.
3rd down and 18. Chargers just 2 for 6 on 3rd downs here. Rivers nowhere to go. Gets rid of it to Woodhead. And Woodhead is hit hard along the sideline. Nico Thorpe coming in to make the tackle, and once again, San Diego will have to punt. 2-minute warning, and the Raiders lead by 20. Oakland is going to get the ball back with 1:53 on the clock and 2 timeouts. 3rd punt today for Mike Cyphers and TJ Carey is back deep for the Raiders. The Raiders have not had a punt return for a touchdown in 7 years. Johnny Lee Higgins back in 2008. This play, Carey gets a couple. Been a rough go for San Diego. Last week, 548 yards of offense. And here's what they've done today. On their first 6 possessions, 3 punts, 2 picks, and 1 field goal.
And it's unusual for them not to be able to stay on the field for more plays. They had an 8-play drive and then a 6-play drive, and that's it. Yeah, everything else was 3 and out or 2 and out.
Yeah, only 2 plays of more than 3, 2 drives of more than 3 plays. And what's amazing, this is a huge game for Phillip Rivers and the Chargers. They know what a big game this is. That's what's made this so surprising to us as we watch it develop right in front of us.
Yeah, the Raiders offense clicking, 5 possessions, 5 scores. And they start this drive by completing it to Rivera up to the 44-yard line.
And this is why so many people have noticed this is a Raider team that is very dangerous.
And Derek Carr told us last night, we're sick of hearing, oh, they're young, they'll be good in a few years. We want to win now. And they're playing like that today. That pass goes incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and 3. Coming up on the Verizon halftime report, join JB, Bart, Boomer, and Coach Cower for all the latest NFL scores and highlights, as well as a preview of Thursday Night Football on CBS and the NFL Network. It's all coming up on the Verizon halftime report. Another wild day on that note.
Sorry, Andrew. On that note, Khalil Mack had told us yesterday as well. They're tired of learning from losing. They want to start learning from winning. And they expect themselves to get in the hunt, and all these games find a way to win.
3rd down and 3. Ingram coming with pressure. Carr out of the pocket on the run, and he's got the 1st down. Great awareness by Derek Carr to move the sticks.
Yeah, it's a great job stopping the clock, saving the timeout as well, and now they've got a chance at midfield to do something towards the end zone and get some points out of this drive for sure. As Carr, as you see, he's good, great athlete, and you see he was going to throw it to Crabtree. Crabtree got pushed out of bounds. He becomes ineligible, so Carr had no choice but to tuck that and get out of bounds.
And now we have a stoppage. And they're going to reset the play clock.
And that's one of the things, though, what we saw there on that play with Derek Carr. He brings that dimension. There really is no area where you look at him and you say this is a weakness in his game. The only weakness he has is inexperience. And he's progressing in a way that really is encouraging to the Raiders staff.
And one of the other things, too, he's got better players around him who are playing more consistent football, and it shows all the way across the board.
Carr is 16 of 21 for 163 yards in the 1st half. Quick pass here. It's caught, and that's Amari Cooper off to the races. Cooper inside the 20, cuts back and takes it in. A 52-yard score. Third touchdown of Amari Cooper's career. And Phillip Rivers and the Chargers about to be in a 30-3 hole.
Well, give Bill Musgrave, the offensive coordinator, credit for that. Expecting man-to-man coverage, that's all it was, lined up across the board. And if the person that's covering Amari Cooper gets blocked, like he did on that play, it's hard to cover for that with a guy as good as Amari Cooper.
117 yards receiving for Cooper. That's his 3rd 100-yard game already in his young career. And how about this? It's 30-3 in favor of the Raiders.
You want to know how to get better, draft playmakers and get them the football.
Cooper's last 2 catches have gone for 96 yards as we take another look at this touchdown. The 2nd of the day for Derek Carr.
Here's what you're going to see. There's Amari Cooper. What you're going to see is these guys are coming outside to block and take it away. And then Cooper is just going to come straight down the line and right down the middle of the field. You'll see how it all opens up You got the blocks. There's nobody covering Cooper. Now you got linemen out in front of Cooper as well, and a great block. That safety, you don't want to be that guy taking on the big lineman. That was Rodney Hudson, number 61. But brilliant execution across the board, and Cooper showing his tremendous athletic ability as well.
Left tackle in the center. Actually, it was Gabe Jackson, the left guard in the center, going out, getting in front of Cooper, and that was perfectly executed all the way around and giving one of your best playmakers a chance to get some space. Great play call. And like I said, I mean, it sounds simple, but it's not. Draft great players and then get them the football. And Amari Cooper and the Raiders are finding out. That changes your one-loss record a little bit.
And confidence is a dangerous thing. You get a young team that starts believing in themselves. It's a good combo for them.
Oakland season high in points is 37. Week 2 against Baltimore. They have 30 here in the first half. Coming up, Verizon halftime report. JB, Bart, Boomer, Coach Cower. All the latest NFL scores and highlights. They'll also have a preview of that intriguing Thursday night game between the Dolphins and Patriots on CBS and the NFL Network, all coming up on the Verizon halftime report. Now don't forget, Chargers 101, 2 timeouts. Can they get something going here before they head to the locker room? Rivers just 62 yards passing here in the first half. Quick pass to Woodhead, and he's tackled by Ray Armstrong. Rivers will try to run the no huddle, preserve the timeouts.
At this point, you've got to go full steam ahead. You've got to get something, and all the stops are out. But
Green makes the catch out of bounds to stop the clock with a first down, and this is for San Diego.
This is totally in Phillip Rivers' hands. Frank Reich, the offensive coordinator, and Mike McCoy, you turn it over to Phillip Rivers, let him see the matchups he wants, and turn it over to him to get some plays made down the field.
Well, Frank Reich knows a thing or two about big comebacks. You know what happened with Buffalo in the wild card game against the Oilers back in 1993. Steve Tasker knows about that game as well. They're going to need a comeback like that today.
I had great seats for that game.
Reich in his second year as the offensive coordinator. In 2013, he was the quarterback coach here.
I spoke to him before the game, and they're frustrated because they're moving the football on everybody, but they can't get points.
Today, not the case.
Rivers deflected and incomplete. Charles Woodson and David Amerson were hovering around that deflected pass.
Well, that was a third down play, and you're going to see underneath Ladarius Green, number 89 right there. He came wide open. It was 3rd and 3. That ball should have gone to Ladarius Green. It's 3rd and 3 right now, excuse me. But Ladarius Green was the read on that play, wide open underneath. That's where the ball should have gone.
Third down here for San Diego. 2 for 7 this half on third downs. Woodhead, delayed handoff up the middle. He's got the first down. And this is where Mike McCoy will use a timeout. 24 seconds to go. He's got 1 timeout remaining.
And you sit here and you think about what can the Chargers do differently? How are they going to find a way to come back in this ballgame? Well, they've got a lot of playmakers on the field. Sure, they're down Antonio Gates. They're down Melvin Gordon. But you've still got guys out there on the field in Keenan Allen, Malcolm Floyd, Stevie Johnson, Danny Woodhead, Ladarius Green. You got guys that are capable of making a lot of plays.
But that's not their only problem either. Their defense has got to find a way to stop Oakland as well, because Oakland hasn't been stopped either.
They scored 3 points. They've got 2 turnovers, Steve. They have played terrible on offense. We'll talk about how they're going to get back into it. Your defense has to step up too.
Rivers, and that one is laid in beautifully to Stevie Johnson. Great pass, who gets out of bounds at the 33-yard line.
That really was a nice pass right there. Very easily could have been going the other way. Almost got a hand on it there, DJ Hayden.
Yeah, for all his problems, it hasn't been a great day for Rivers yet. I mean, he's still in the elite level of quarterbacks in this league.
Gain of 23, Rivers looking end zone for Floyd, out of bounds. Incomplete. They were trying to take a shot there. 11 seconds remain It's a 50-yard field goal from here, and they do have one timeout left.
Yeah, he was going to try and get a play, but it's a great job by Thorpe, just keeping the play in front of him. You can't let Floyd get over the top of you. And that's a great job by Thorpe.
Expect another shot to the end zone here.
That's a good question. You go for 7, or you're trying to set up an easier field goal?
Easier field goal is the answer as Woodhead gets to the 26. And the timeout is called with, well, 2 seconds, but it looked like they got it before then. In any event, that's the final timeout, and Lambeau will come out to try to put 3 more on the board here for the Chargers.
One thing we do know about Phillip Rivers and about his history, his past, he will not quit. He will come out in this second half and he'll throw every darn tool in the toolbox at these Raiders. He'll find a way to get it going. I would be surprised if he didn't. But the Raider defense really has some confidence right now, rightfully so. They're really playing at a high level right now.
Well, that's Phillip Rivers is not going to let anybody else quit either. I mean, they follow this guy, and he's a great leader, great quarterback. So you're going to see him fight to the end. But right now, they better stop digging the hole.
44-yard attempt for Lambeau. Kick on the way, and Lambeau is 2 for 2. The only points in the first half for the San Diego Chargers. That's the end of the first half with Oakland leading 30-6. We'll be back with the Verizon halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. You are watching the NFL on CBS, your home for Super Bowl 50. Start of the third quarter in San Diego where the Chargers trail 30-6. Time now for Who Are You Lovin'? Presented by McDonald's. Derek Carr loving Amari Cooper. That's going to be a long-term relationship for the Raiders. A 52-yard touchdown. It was all Oakland in that first half. Back in the booth with Steve Berline and Steve Tasker. I'm Andrew Catalan. Really a stunning first half. Chargers come out flat. All the credit to the Raiders, but now Steve Berline, how does San Diego try to get back in this game?
Well, you have to credit the Raiders. First off, they're not playing like the Raiders of old. This is a new team coming out playing very physical, very confident, very aggressive. San Diego, they got the right guy pulling the trigger in the second half. He did not play well in the first half. The bottom line is that Phillip Rivers and their playmakers across the board, and they got plenty of them, have to step up and start making some plays, both sides of the ball.
Steve Tasker, what's impressed you most so far about this Raiders performance?
I think the consistency on both sides of the ball. We've seen them in past games and even last year do things in spurts. They have a good play, then a couple of bad ones. They're playing well every single down right now, and they're making some breaks for themselves. You saw the tipped interception and the plays that Amari Cooper made. Those were just well-executed plays called, and I think the second half, the Raiders have to play like the score is 0-0. They got a young team, and they need to teach them that you got to keep your foot on the pedal.
Tywan Jones back deep to receive the second half kickoff. It is a touchback, so Oakland will start at the 20-yard line. We'll take a look at the halftime numbers, and certainly tilted toward the silver and black with the 267 total yards, and the big one, 10 points off turnovers, 2 Phillip Rivers interceptions.
139 total yards for the Chargers in the first half. This is a team that has led the NFL this year, averaging over 430 yards per game. The Raiders defense has just put the clamps on them across the board, and it's going to start right here with the defense in the second half. Steve, you were saying it. You got to get the ball popped out of there for the Chargers.
Murray on first down, maybe gets a yard. And Oakland really rolled it up in that first half. Look at their possession chart. They scored on every single drive. And how about that stat? First time since 2002 that in the first half the Raiders did not punt or turn the ball over.
No, you can say it. It's a sign of a good football team.
Raiders have not won a divisional game on the road in 3 years. Trying to change that here today. Second down at 8. Back to the ground with Murray with some room, and Murray will be 2 yards short of a first down. Adai makes the tackle for the Chargers.
When Latavius Murray gets going north and south, he's one of those guys that burst kind of makes you hold your breath. You just sit there and say, wow, if they miss one tackle, this guy could be gone in a heartbeat. He's got that kind of ability.
9 carries, 47 yards for Latavius Murray. He watches this 3rd down and 2 play from the sideline. They pitch it to Jones. Jones hit hard, but he's got the first down. Melvin Ingram makes the tackle, but Oakland picks up a first.
And this is the kind of production you want out of your running game. You see it's just kind of student body. You see 4 offensive linemen pulling out of their spots, trying to get out in front. And they do enough of a job to get the play pushed to the sideline to let him just pick his spot, jump over for the first down. And it looks so easy when it happens that way. But you know, this is a Raider team that's just playing so consistently right now.
Carr's first pass of the second half is caught. First catch today by Seth Roberts. There is a flag down.
Now this is they're gonna call a pick play on the far side.
Pass interference. Offense, number 10. 10-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
Goes against Roberts.
It's the kind of play they've been featuring a lot. Roberts is number 10 right there. And they just called it for, it was not a pick. It was just a little bit of a push-off they called him for.
Stiff-armed the guy.
Roberts undrafted out of West Alabama. Spent all of last year on the Oakland practice squad. And he's made a big impact for this Raiders team, already with 2 touchdowns on the season. Derek Carr told us last night they could make a Disney movie about Roberts' journey to the NFL.
Everybody up inside.
On 1st and 20, Carr to Cooper. Did he get the feet down? Yes, he did. What a catch on the sideline by the rookie Cooper.
And that's one of the differences about this Raider team that you see. They can dig themselves out of a hole on a 1st and 20. They just throw it out to Amari Cooper on the back shoulder. Watch the athletic play. Goes up and gets it and just keeps his toes on the ground. Fantastic catch.
San Diego Chargers fans are going to get used to seeing that combination for a lot of years. Derek Carr to Amari Cooper. Spectacular execution and a big play for this team.
Jones running right. Tyron Jones spinning in midfield into San Diego territory. A gain of 19 on the season. Tywan Jones at just 30 yards rushing.
Well, this is, again, nothing special, just student body right. Like you said, you see the big boys out front. Austin Howard, Lee Smith, the tight end, was over there as well, and they're just getting to the edge. John Pagano, defensive coordinator, told us that yesterday one of the big problems against the run, they've got to set the edge of that defense. They're not doing it today again.
10th play of at least 10 yards today for the Raiders, and that matches the career-long run for Tywan Jones. Carr zings one, caught, another completion. Wow. It's the tight end Walford for a gain of 20.
What a gutsy throw by Carr. Watch as he throws this right up the seam on the end of the line of scrimmage. 88 right on the numbers. Look, zings it right past the ear of Donald Butler. That's a courageous and confident throw by a young quarterback right there. What a fantastic read.
As a quarterback, he sees the numbers, the back of the numbers for Donald Butler. He knows Butler can't make that play. That was a brilliant throw, though, right on the money.
Carr, another quick pass to Crabtree at the 20. Crabtree at the 10. 5. Touchdown Raiders. 3rd touchdown of the day for Derek Carr.
This is the exact same play they scored on in the first half with Amari Cooper. They just, little different formation, but the same exact design in the screen play, in the screen pass. Bill Musgrave, you got to give him a lot of credit for this. The game plan he's put together, the execution, all of it going very, very well for the Raiders right now.
Whatever Mike McCoy told his team at halftime, they weren't listening.
touchdown of the season for Crabtree. And now here's Janikowski for the extra point, and it is loud in here. These Raider fans are loving life in San Diego. Derek Carr to Michael Crabtree. It's 37-6. A 7-play, 80-yard drive to start the second half for the Raiders. And they have just dominated this game against the Chargers on that last drive. Carr 3 of 3 for 60 yards. Jacoby Jones back deep. And he's going to return this one. Jones to the 17. 37-6 in favor of Oakland.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest. Transparency. Low fares, nothing to hide. Toyota. Let's go places. And by Domino's. Order online at Domino's.com.
Hard to watch today if you're a Chargers fan, and there are a lot of Raider fans in the house. You see some of the numbers today. Carr with 3 touchdowns, 2 picks by Phillip Rivers. Neither team's run game has been dominant, but Murray with 47 yards and Amari Cooper 5 catches for 133. It's 1st and 10 for San Diego, trailing 37-6 with Steve Berline and Steve Tasker. I'm Andrew Catalan, our entire NFL on CBS crew, and that's a good run there by Brandon Oliver. A gain of 14. Again, we have not seen the rookie Melvin Gordon today. 2 fumbles last week, did not play the final 36 minutes against the Packers and has not played at all today. Would you go to Melvin Gordon here in a game like this?
I think if Melvin Gordon was going to play, he would have played early in this game. They're now in catch-up mode all the way. You don't do it by pounding the ball at the middle.
Rivers, that ball bounces, juggled, and incomplete. Nearly intercepted for a 3rd time today.
Yeah, you're almost at 10 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. You're almost in 4-down territory. I mean, you've got to start scoring a lot of points every series, and you've got to just hope that your Chargers can get a stop defensively.
And up tempo is going to be, it should become a factor here. They should be just trying to get as many snaps as they can, try and be as efficient as they can be with time on the clock.
Rivers pass deflected and nearly intercepted. A diving attempt by Aldon Smith, and he nearly got that one.
That's the 2nd play in a row where they've affected Phillip Rivers on the throw. This one tipped, I believe on the last play, Phillip Rivers might have had his arm contacted, but right there, just a nice job understanding what Phillip Rivers' biggest asset is get rid of that ball quickly. If you can't get to him, get your big paws up there and knock that ball.
Big paws belong to Mario Edwards Jr., the rookie out of Florida State. Makes it 3rd down and 10. Raiders jumped, and a flag comes in.
Oh, yeah. See, if I'm kind of mad if I'm Phillip Rivers. They stopped that play. That should have been a free play.
Offside, unabated. Defense, number 99. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
The Raiders caught a break on that. They called the penalty, which would have stood anyway, but he was actually moving away from the quarterback when they stopped the play, and that's a free play for the offense in a situation where they could really use one.
8 penalties for 80 yards today by the Raiders. Turns 3rd and 10 into 3rd and 5.
And listen to the Raider fans making it difficult to communicate for Phillip Rivers.
Rivers with time, now flushed out, and just throws it away. Great defense by Oakland once again, and a frustrating afternoon for Rivers and the Chargers.
Yeah, so much for 4-down territory. It's not even going to be 4th and short. It's going to be 4th and 5, and Phillip Rivers running for his life as the coverage in the secondary was perfect. As he's looking to his left, can't find it, comes back to his right, scrambles, and there is absolutely nobody available.
While the quarterback was outside the pocket. The pass did not get past the original line of scrimmage. 10-yard penalty, loss of down, 4th down.
They just threw it late. Intentional grounding called against Rivers.
Yeah, he didn't make a big enough effort to get it past the line of scrimmage. His frustration.
Just pouring salt on the wound there.
So the penalty is enforced at the spot of the pass. 4th down.
I've never seen the Chargers struggle like this on offense with Phillip Rivers pulling the trigger.
Well, now the penalty makes it 4th and a mile, but you wouldn't have considered going for it on 4th and 5 there?
Well, in this situation, you surely wouldn't fault Mike McCoy for doing that. No doubt about it. I think it's probably a 50-50 proposition.
Not on your own 38, I wouldn't.
Yeah, when you're down 37-6, you know, what are you going to lose?
Instead, Cyphers on 4th and 18, punting to Carey. Has some room on the right side, but can't get away from Cavell Connor. Nice tackle, special teams for Connor and the Chargers. 9:42 to go, 3rd quarter. Oakland's offense coming back out. Long day in the powder blues for San Diego. 57 points and a number of big plays today for the Raiders offense.
Amari Cooper responsible for a couple of them. This one right down the pipe, goes up, high points the football, sets up a score. This one is quick slip screen, gets in behind the big guys on the offensive line, makes one last big cut to get into the end zone. Big plays have been the bane of the Chargers, and then the same play to Michael Crabtree on the other side, a shorter play, but the same result.
Easiest job today belongs to Marquette King, the Raiders punter. Haven't seen him yet. Oakland has not punted with 9:42 to go. In the 3rd quarter, they've scored on all 7 possessions. They'll start this drive at their own 34-yard line. It is Latavius Murray with some room. Murray, second level. Murray sheds a tackle and out of bounds at the 43-yard line. A gain of 23 for Latavius Murray.
It's just looking way too easy for the Raiders right now. You see, again, we've seen it several times, both off the toss and off the handoff action, where they're pulling big boys out in front, getting to the edge, giving Latavius Murray or Taiwan Jones the opportunity to get to the edge and slice right up that sideline.
Oakland averaging better than 9 yards a play today. They have 381 yards of offense. This is Roy Halou on the carry. And we sat with John Pagano, the defensive coordinator for the Chargers, on Friday, and we asked him about his run defense, 29th in the league, and he said we really focused on playing a full 60 minutes. It's just been a thing or two here or there, little things that are adding up, but today it's been a lot of big things and big problems once again for that San Diego run defense.
And this is a San Diego defense that, coming into this game, was very disappointed with how many explosive plays they've given up over the course of this season. Today, many plays of 20-plus yards. It's gotten worse, if anything.
Halou going backwards that time. Well, you figured this might have been a day for the Chargers rush defense to get going. Oakland does not run the ball well coming in. 27th in the league, averaging just 90 yards per game on the ground. But even the Raiders have been able to find their way against San Diego.
Well, you know, Jack Del Rio denied that they put some extra focus on the run game during the bye week, but it's obvious. They came out with the intention of running the football, and they are getting after it better than they have all year.
3rd down and 13 with 7:50 to go in the 3rd. Carr to Smith. And he can't get away from Kendall Reyes. So for the first time today, Marquette King gets to show off his leg. Look at him running out there. He can't wait to actually get in the game.
Finally get a chance to play.
Well, you know,
the only thing he's done is hold for Janikowski.
He probably feels guilty, you know, collecting that paycheck next week if he didn't do any work, you know, for
I doubt that.
I don't think so either.
I wouldn't.
Now that I think about it, yeah.
One of the most amazing stats is that here in their 7th game, the Chargers have a total of 3 punt return yards on the season. The whole year, on their punt returns, 3 yards. Jacoby Jones lets this one bounce. And they're still going to have 3 yards. They'll start this drive at the 15-yard line. 6:54 to go. Marquette King getting in the game here in San Diego.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by FedEx, solutions that matter. And by Pennzoil Synthetics. Make the switch to Pennzoil Pure Plus Synthetics today.
Aerial coverage of today's game is provided by MetLife. A look from above at the San Diego Zoo. Kind of a lazy day in San Diego, but the Raider fans, they are enjoying things here in Southern California. 1st and 10 for San Diego with 6:54 to go in the 3rd quarter. And Melvin Gordon is in at running back for the first time today. His first carry. And Gordon with a first down. How about that? Melvin Gordon runs for 11. Back to New York. An NFL Today update with JB and Bart Scott.
Giants answer back.
Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie is going to pick off Matt Castle and take it 58 yards to regain the lead. Giants lead 17-13.
8:32 and counting in the 3rd. Andrew, Steve, and Steve.
Guys, thank you. Rivers' pass is off the hands of Stevie Johnson and incomplete. Well, interesting move for the Chargers to now insert Melvin Gordon. Did not play the entire first half.
Maybe Mike McCoy wants to get him some reps. It's not going to be a game changer for the Chargers. But what I noticed, though, on that was a play where Phillip Rivers makes that throw in his sleep. Stevie Johnson was wide open coming across the middle, and it wasn't even close.
Rivers is 0 for 4 this half. It's Gordon again. And Gordon with no gain on the play. It'll be 3rd down. Raider fans will come to life again. Phillip Rivers had to use a silent count a couple of weeks ago for a home game on Monday Night Football because there were so many Steelers fans in the house. And he said that they practiced using the silent count again this week because of the expected large turnout from the Raider fans. I haven't really seen them using it, but it is loud in here with all these Oakland fans. On 3rd and 10. Rivers sideline, incomplete, broken up by Malcolm Smith. Nothing going right offensively for the Chargers, and once again, Mike Cyphers will come out for his 5th punt of the day.
Well, Michael Smith does an outstanding job as he stays with Green. Watch as he gets his hand up and just undercuts that ball.
Did you see, though, and it's one of those things where we can sit here and debate it all along. There was definitely coverage 8 to 10 yards up the field. Michael Smith, when Ladarius Green was trying to come out of his break, he did bump him, knock him off his route a little bit. That thing is called a lot of times. It's just hard to get the consistency that you're looking for. That would be a penalty by the rule.
Malcolm Smith has 6 tackles, 1 interception, and 2 passes defense today. The 5th-year linebacker out of USC. Here's Carey on the return. And Carey to midfield. 5:24 to go, 3rd quarter. Raiders in control. Earlier this week, the Chargers, along with the California Highway Patrol, an organization called Impact Teen Drivers, and some middle school students all joined forces to spread a message about making better decisions behind the wheel as part of the NFL's Play 60 program. Corey Leggett teamed up as well to educate young people in avoiding distractions or reckless driving. 5:24 to go, 3rd quarter. Raiders lead 37-6. Oakland has not won an AFC West game on the road in 3 years when they won at Arrowhead in 2012. Derek Carr, 21 of 26, 268 yards and 3 touchdowns. And this is the 4th time today that an Oakland drive will start in San Diego territory.
Go!
Chargers have only run 5 plays in Oakland territory. Carr to the air on 1st down, caught by Marcel Reese and nudged out of bounds by Flowers. With NFL Mobile, watch local and primetime NFL games live on your smartphone. Learn more at NFL.com/mobile. Well, we sat with Derek Carr last night and said, you know, what's the biggest difference year one to year two? And he said he had some minor tweaks that he changed this year. And the biggest one was that last year, after games on a Sunday, he'd take 24 hours, go with his family, hang out, just kind of relax a little bit. This year, after a game, he'll immediately start watching film of the game he just played and also film of his next opponent. Does not have that 24-hour buffer anymore as Latavius Murray picks up a first down and a flag comes in. But an interesting little tweak for Carr, and it seems to be working for him.
No doubt about it. And those are the things that come with experience.
Holding, offense, number 10. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay, second down.
As Seth Roberts is called for the holding. But those are the things that really make a difference in the development of a quarterback. The maturity for a young guy to understand that those little things piled on top of each other make a big, big difference over time. And we're seeing him reap the benefit of making that kind of a commitment to being as good as he could possibly be.
Hey, kill, attack two!
Larry, 66.
Attack two!
That's the game.
On 2nd and 10, Carr. That's caught by Roberts and knocked out of bounds inside the 45-yard line. Roberts, the first-year man out of West Alabama, had the game-winning touchdown against Baltimore back in week 2. That's when the Raiders scored 37 points. They have 37 again today against San Diego.
There's Billy Musgrave. I had the opportunity to play for him when I was with the Carolina Panthers.
We're waiting!
Pretty sure you've played with half the coaches down on the field in this game. And on 3rd down, Olawale is stopped short. Well, it's actually a really interesting story with Musgrave and Mike McCoy. In 2000, Musgrave was the offensive coordinator in Carolina along with the quarterbacks coach, and McCoy, his first job in the NFL was as an offensive assistant for Musgrave. However, after 4 weeks, Musgrave resigned, and McCoy, who was just 28 years old, was promoted to quarterbacks coach of the Carolina Panthers. Who was his quarterback? None other than Steve Berline, who was also 6 years older than McCoy at that time.
Yes, I was. And Mike McCoy had a look of absolute panic when I walked into the office that day as we prepare for this 4th down punt. We have a stoppage, delay a game. But the
5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Of course, you never expect your offensive coordinator to step down for whatever the reasons might be. And Mike McCoy, in his first NFL job as a 28-year-old kid, as my coach, the quarterback coach, he looked at me like, what in the world are we going to do now? And I just kind of put my arm on his shoulder and said, hey, young man, young buck, don't worry about it. We'll figure this thing out. And we ended up getting through it just fine. And he's had a stellar career since that point, obviously struggling today with his Chargers.
Fair catch called for by Jacoby Jones. You did throw for 3,730 yards that year, which was 7th in the NFL. And I usually give you a hard time about some of your numbers, but I'm going to give you credit there. Maybe a little assist to Mike McCoy as well.
Well, you could tell he was going to be a very good football coach. His understanding of offensive football was at a very high level. He had the qualities you look for in a head coach, the organizational skills, the ability to focus and identify, in detail where changes needed to be made. You could see those things progressing over the course of his career. And it's landed him a great opportunity in San Diego, one that he didn't expect to be in this position this year, but I have confidence Mike McCoy will get this thing figured out.
Rivers taking a deep shot, looking for Malcolm Floyd. Flag is down. And we'll see what the call is. It's going to be pass interference against the Raiders.
Illegal contact. Defense, number 25. 5-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
So they call contact instead of pass interference, just a 5-yard penalty.
You'll see as he comes out, and Malcolm Floyd, and he gets right in his way. And that's all it takes these days. And you know, you and I look at each other every week, Steve Berline and I, we look at each other every week and think, are they going to call that today or are they not going to call that today? That's the 11th penalty for 100 yards against the Raiders.
Here's Melvin Gordon trying to get to the outside. Now cuts it back and tackled at the 30-yard line by Mario Edwards Jr. Gordon, the 15th pick in the draft this past year. 32 touchdowns last year, but still looking for his first NFL touchdown. Coming into the day, 91 touches with no touchdowns. That's the most touches without a score in the NFL. Gordon on second and short, and he's got the first down. Really strange about these Gordon fumbles this year. 4 fumbles, 3 lost fumbles. At Wisconsin, it took him 322 carries before he had his first fumble.
It's one of those things, though, that it does become an issue in your head, and you've got to have the ability mentally to block it out of your mind. And when it starts happening a little bit, especially with a young player, you start pressing and thinking about it more than you need to, more than you should, and it ends up making the problem worse. And I think Mike McCoy's had the conversation, Phillip Rivers had the conversation. They've all probably talked to him and said, listen, man, you've never had a fumbling problem before. You're not going to fumble anymore. Just forget about it and move on.
Rivers to Keenan Allen. Catch is made at the 39, and Allen up to the 42, about a half-yard shy of a first down. Keenan Allen, we chatted with him on Friday. He told us something rather interesting. He came into training camp in the best shape of his life as Gordon gets the carry on second and short. And he said, what did you do differently in the offseason, Keenan Allen? And he said, I ran a lot, just conditioned every day, and changed my diet a little bit. What'd you do with your diet? Well, I don't eat breakfast anymore. I said, whoa, what do you mean? Oh, no, I just cut out breakfast. I only eat 2 meals a day. He said, everyone in the world, including every mom in the world, says that breakfast is the most important meal. He goes, yeah, no, I don't eat breakfast. Before a 1 o'clock game, I'll have a piece of chicken, 3 pieces of bacon. That's it. That's my lunch, and then I'll pig out after the game. So Keenan Allen, 2 meals a day, and he leads the NFL in catches this year. Go figure. 3rd and 1, Gordon, and he's got the first down. Could be the final play of the 3rd quarter. What was interesting about that conversation with Keenan, though, was that he looked at us like, no, I've got it all figured out now. I mean, this is a very disciplined, strict diet that I'm on, and it's really made a difference. Right. Everyone who eats 3 meals is wrong. I was waiting for him to bust out laughing and say he was punking us. Rivers, and that pass is caught by the man who does not eat breakfast, Keenan Allen, and that's the final play of the 3rd. Oakland rolling 37-6. You're watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 50. Start of the 4th quarter in San Diego, where Oakland has tied a season high with 37 points. Raiders had 3 wins all of last year. They're on the verge of their 3rd here in Week 7 of the 2015 season. 2nd and 1 for San Diego. It's Melvin Gordon who picks up another Chargers first down. Don't forget, coming up after the game, time permitting, it's the Subway postgame show with JB, Bart, Boomer, and Coach Cowher. They'll have all the latest NFL scores and highlights all coming up on the Subway postgame show. San Diego, 5 of their first 6 games were decided by 7 points or fewer. Not the case today, as they trail by 31 to start the 4th. Pressure coming by Malcolm Smith, and he's got the sack. What a day for Malcolm Smith. Interception in the 1st quarter, and now he has his 3rd sack of the season. This is a designed play that, here he is right here, and just shoot straight up the middle, but Ken Norton, Jack Del Rio, great defensive coach. That was just a big-time mistake right there by center Trevor Robinson. When one man goes away and another defender's coming to you, you got to pass that off. Trevor Robinson stayed with the nose guard, and that allowed a free run on Phillip Rivers. A loss of 9, second and 19. Stevie Johnson makes the catch, and Stevie Johnson has a first down. A 19-yard pickup. Emerson on the coverage.
We had anticipated Stevie Johnson being a much bigger part of this team, being back in the lineup. He gives the Chargers 3 really tough matchups. Stevie Johnson in the slot along with Malcolm Floyd and, of course, Keenan Allen on the outside. It has not materialized today. That's the first time Stevie Johnson's been able to get loose.
Rivers taking a shot down the sideline. Incomplete. Big hit by Charles Woodson. He hammered Malcolm Floyd to break up that pass.
Well, a lot has been said in the last couple of weeks about Charles Woodson. He had the 2 interceptions against Peyton Manning, the first 2 against the guy who came into the league with Charles Woodson. He's 39 years old, and you can say what you want about a guy that old playing defensive back. He is still athletic enough to make that play and make every play that a safety needs to. And at his age, that is unbelievable.
And he played it right, too. That was a very good, clean hit at the very end, right on time.
Rivers gets rid of it to Green with room to run. Ladarius Green down the sideline. Touchdown, San Diego. 4th touchdown of the season for the Chargers tight end.
I've talked about it a little bit earlier today. That's about the 4th or 5th time Ladarius Green has come underneath the defense uncovered, and Phillip Rivers has tried to push it up the field. This is the first time he said, you know what, I'm going to take the easy throw. Let's see if we can get it to the big man, let him run with it. Well, it obviously pays off for him this time right here. Ladarius Green gets to the sideline. It's a much-needed touchdown for this Chargers offense, and obviously they're hoping they can build on it.
Green, the 4th-year man out of Louisiana Lafayette, a 4th-round pick in the 2012 draft. And Lambeau's extra point is good. So finally, the Chargers find the end zone with 12:58 to go in the 4th quarter. An 11-play, 83-yard drive for the Chargers. Ladarius Green, the touchdown, and now, for the first time this season, San Diego is set to attempt an onside kick. You like the call with 12:58 to go?
Yeah, it's your only hope.
Doesn't get the bounce. Rivera drops it, but bailing him out is Larry Asante. Rivera had his hands on it, then it went up in the air, but Asante was able to corral it for the Raiders.
Yeah, you'll see this ball pop high in the air, and as that does that, that gives the Chargers time to get down. The Raiders do a good job of breaking the charge initially. Rivera can't pull it in. As you said, Asante right there. It's all about getting possession, getting that ball batted out of bounds somehow or way, coming up with it.
I would have liked to have seen like a little pooch kick or something right there. There was everybody except the return man was up within 10 yards of the line to gain, the line they had to cross. There was a lot of field out there to maybe pop that over the top.
Well, it didn't work, so a pooch kick might have worked better than the onside. But the onside gives you even worse field position if you're the Chargers defense.
So 1st and 10 for Oakland. Halou on the left side. Big hit over there by Gravel Connor.
Where you think he just pooched the ball either into this area or back in here behind the deep guy. There's nobody behind him. There's a guy back in the end zone, and give your guys, your speed guys, a chance to sprint to the football before the Raiders can actually even get there. And that would have been at least as successful as that play they just ran, and it would have given them better field position.
And the element of surprise, I think, is a little bit greater on something unusual like that.
Halou again reverses field, and Halou dives up to the 40-yard line. Melvin Ingram with the tackle. It'll be 3rd down for Oakland.
Well, I think you get a sense both on defense, certainly on that last drive as the Chargers went right down the football field and scored. But the Raiders took a deep breath and kind of relaxed, looked at the scoreboard and said to themselves, there's no way the Chargers are going to win this game. And now they're handing the football off, and we'll see if that continues. They handed it off on 3rd down last series. We'll see if they're a little impatient and want to try and stay on the field with a 1st down.
Carr, and that pass is juggled and incomplete. Intended for Andre Holmes. So the San Diego defense does the job, and Marquette King will have to come out to punt for the third time.
Yeah, this was one of the few balls that got away from Derek Carr right there. That ball was not thrown well. He had a chance to put it on the body of Andre Holmes, but instead he put it behind. That would have been a nice conversion. Would have allowed the Raiders to run off a few more minutes off the 11:30 left in this ball game.
Jacoby Jones called a timeout. I think the Chargers had too many men.
They're first. This is a 30-second timeout.
So they have to waste a timeout here early in the fourth quarter. Well, it's been a wild day in the NFL. Tampa Bay lost a 24-point lead. Washington came back to win. The Jaguars earlier this morning were up 24, although they did come back to beat Buffalo. But we've seen some big leads disappear already today.
And we saw 31-point first quarter in the Miami game.
Unbelievable.
31 points in the first quarter. And at one point, Ryan Tannehill was 18 of 18 with 3 touchdowns today. 4 touchdowns.
4 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Miami did not lose that lead.
No, they did not.
Destroyed Houston. King's punt bounces at the 5 and goes into the end zone. So San Diego getting the ball back. They'll start from the 20 when we return.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Hyundai, an official sponsor of the NFL. And by AT&T. DirecTV and AT&T are now one, bringing television and wireless together.
Coming up after the game, time permitting, the Subway postgame show with JB, Bart, Boomer, and Coach Cower. They'll have all the latest NFL scores and highlights all coming up on the Subway postgame show. 11:21 to go in the fourth. Chargers scored on their last drive. Trying to creep back in. They trail 37-13. Phillip Rivers just 174 yards passing after throwing for 503 last week at Lambeau Field. And they'll start this drive on the ground with Brandon Oliver. Well, a lot of speculation, of course, with the NFL possibly relocating to Los Angeles next year. The 3 teams that are talked about the most, the Raiders, the Chargers, and the St. Louis Rams. And certainly that's on the minds of a lot of fans in both of these cities. And to that end, the NFL will hold town hall meetings in all 3 cities, San Diego, Oakland, and St. Louis, next week. So fans can express their views to the NFL league office. Roger Goodell will not attend those meetings, but members of his staff will. And there's one of the proposals is having San Diego and Oakland, the Raiders and Chargers, share a stadium in Carson, California. And local radio station, the Mighty 1090, reported that on Friday, Raiders owner Mark Davis met with Chargers ownership here in San Diego as Oliver makes the catch out of the backfield. One of the other nuggets that came out this week is that Chargers special counsel Mark Fabiani told that radio station that the Chargers plan to file for relocation in January. And he said that 25% of Chargers season tickets come from fans in LA and Orange counties, and they need to protect those markets. That was the Chargers ownership box led by Dean and Alex Spanos. So much going on with these 2 teams with their futures up in the air, but been uneasy times for fans in both these cities.
No doubt. I live in Orange County and been a long time, my whole life, born and raised in Southern California. And they are hungry for a football team for sure. And one of these is going to happen, no doubt about it. Bottom line is, in order to keep the possibility alive for the Chargers, that has to be filed in January. And it's a very, very realistic possibility, even though the Raiders and the Chargers are in the same division, and that might present some awkward issues and problems and dilemmas that they'll have to face. The bottom line is that the Raiders and the Chargers are committed to making this happen if it's their best option.
No team in Los Angeles since '95 when the Rams and Raiders both departed. And a lot more to come on this issue in the coming months. Right now, 3rd and 10 for San Diego. Rivers fires, and that pass is caught by Dontrell Inman for a San Diego first down. And now there's an injured Charger behind the play down at the 41-yard line.
There's also a Raider on the far sideline that stayed down.
Orlando Franklin is the injured Charger. He had to come out earlier and also missed the last 3 games with a high ankle sprain.
DJ Hayden is down on the far side for the Raiders as well.
Hayden, the 3rd-year man out of Houston. So injuries for both teams with 8:45 to go in the 4th. Saturday, the SEC on CBS rolls out the best game from the best conference, a big rivalry game. It gets so heated, they play it on neutral turf. It's the Florida Gators and the Georgia Bulldogs. The hoopla begins with college football today. Back in San Diego, 8:45 to go, 4th quarter, and the cart has come out for Orlando Franklin, the 5th-year man out of Miami. Did not play the last 3 games because of an ankle injury and clearly frustrated as he is carted off the field. This is nothing new for San Diego. They have just been ravaged by injuries this year. 8 different offensive linemen have already played over 100 snaps this season.
Oh, just gets that foot planted and rolled up on, stepped on. Last week was the only game this year the offensive line that started the game actually finished the game. That's how desperate it's been. The San Diego Chargers have been through more offensive linemen since the beginning of last year than any other team in the NFL by far.
Hayden was able to walk off under his own power as Rivers' pass is incomplete on 1st and 10. And again, San Diego without several key players, as we showed you off the top of the broadcast, with no Eric Weddle, missing a game for the first time since 2009. Manti Te'o out with an ankle injury for the 2nd straight game. Antonio Gates not able to play. These are not excuses for San Diego, but this has been a major issue for the Chargers all season long. Oliver out of the backfield. Oliver cuts back, and Brandon Oliver has a San Diego first down.
Late flag coming in. That was a little bit of a pile jumper there at the end. You saw Steve Tasker.
Yeah, it's Oliver striving for further yardage.
After the play was over, dead ball, personal foul, offense, number 76, with a late hit, 15-yard penalty, still a first down.
DJ Fluker, right guard. You'll see him come tumbling in over this as this play goes down, and there's Fluker coming in late, hitting Mack in the back.
There is Antonio Gates, not able to play today because of a knee injury he suffered late in the 4th quarter last week against the Packers. It's a knee injury for Orlando Franklin, and he will not return. As Chargers completes to Oliver. Brandon Oliver played at the University at Buffalo, where his roommate for 4 years was Khalil Mack of the Raiders. So they're roommates for the majority of their time at Buffalo, and they still work out together in the offseason.
In Buffalo, which is crazy. Pardon me. Yeah, great. Sounds crazy.
Well, Tasker
playing in California.
Yeah. Rivers to a wide open Green, and he dropped it. Darius Green at daylight to run, but he could not hold down. It's 3rd down and 6.
Well, when it rains, it pours. This is one that Phillip Rivers laid in there perfectly. The Darius Green coming across the field, and Rivers, the nice touch pass over the top. No excuse for that. He's going to catch it and go down the sideline. You're right, Andrew. He was going to get that down inside the red zone, possibly break one tackle for another score.
Just the 4th drop pass of the season by the Chargers. Coming into the week, they were tied for the fewest drops in the NFL with the Seahawks. 3rd and 6 Rivers, quick pass to Johnson, lost the ball. And they're going to say that it was a catch and a fumble and a recovery. Either way, it's not enough for a first down. It's fourth down. You got to think San Diego is going to go for it.
They're going to go for it. As solid as the execution has been for the Raiders running these screen passes to the wide receivers, this was poorly executed by the Chargers. Stevie Johnson out there in front of the offensive lineman. No one out there to protect him to catch that ball and turn up the field. Just poor execution.
On 4th and 6. Rivers fires, broken up. Nice play by David Amerson. And a late flag comes in. Wow.
Yeah, the official actually was going to throw it on time, and he tried to throw it and dropped it at his own feet, so he had to reach down and pick it up, so it came late, but he threw it immediately on the break of the route.
There are 2 flags out there.
Yeah, I just want to see the penalty. I thought that was a pretty nice play on the ball, unless Amerson had a hand on the back or something.
Right at the point where the ball got there, it was a good play. I think this was pre-ball flight, or before the ball actually got to the receiver. There was contact at the top of the route.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both against the defense. Holding. Defense, number 24. That penalty is declined. Pass interference. Defense, number 29. Spot the foul. Automatic. First down.
Well, you hear the Raider fans not happy. Some of the Charger fans have already departed. None of the Oakland fans are ready to leave just yet. And they're letting Jerome Boger and his crew hear it after the 2 penalties go against Oakland. It gives San Diego a first down at the 20-yard line with 7 minutes to go. Rivers again to Oliver out of the backfield. Oliver inside the 15 and fights his way to the 12-yard line. Ray Armstrong on the tackle.
Gain of 8, 2nd and 2.
No huddle for San Diego on 2nd and 2. Handoff to Oliver. Cuts back and picks up a first down. It's 1st and goal. Let's go back to that interference call on 4th down.
They called one on Woodson right there. Yeah, I don't know. At the top of that looked pretty good. Amerson's play looked pretty good. Woodson on the inside did grab Stevie Johnson and pull him back.
Rivers has time and just throws this one away. Good coverage by the Oakland secondary.
In defense of the referee, I think the referee saw the arm go out and looked like he was grabbing the receiver, but I don't think there was a grab that happened. I think it was probably a good, solid play by Amerson. But Woodson definitely was guilty, so
yeah.
There's no foul for intentional grounding. The quarterback was ruled to be outside the pocket when the pass was thrown. 2nd down.
6:08 to go, 2nd and goal. Here's another look.
He's got to be outside. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Yes. I don't know what he's talking about.
that's about as much in the pocket as you can be.
Yeah. That was a bad call. Bad explanation anyway.
Rivers gets rid of it, incomplete, looking for Woodhead. Remember last week in Green Bay, San Diego had 4 cracks. First from inside the 10, they couldn't score, lost the game.
And they were 2 of 6 in as you mentioned earlier, Andrew, in the red zone in general in that game. They're a team that ranks right in the middle of the pack on the season, 54%. 18th in the league in the red zone as far as touchdowns are concerned, but they have struggled the last 2 weeks.
First time in the red zone today for San Diego. It's 3rd and goal. Rivers to a wide open Woodhead. He walks it in for a Chargers touchdown. First receiving touchdown of the year for Danny Woodhead, and San Diego is going to go for 2.
Well, this is almost inexcusable for the Raiders. When Danny Woodhead is on the field, you have to have someone accounting for him He is out there for a purpose. They are trying to get him the football. Everybody in the NFL knows that. That was a complete bust of an assignment by a Raiders defense that's been very, very sharp and impressive all day.
So if the Chargers convert, they would make it a 2-possession game. They would trail by 16. San Diego this year 0 for 1 on 2-point conversions. The Raiders defense has not faced a 2-point play. Rivers over the middle, caught! Ladarius Green with the 2-point play. 6 minutes to go. Another onside kick coming. We're about to find out, but the Chargers have made it a 2-possession game.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Dish. The Dish 2-year price lock. Go to dish.com to learn more. And by Subway, the mouth-watering chicken and bacon ranch. Subway, eat fresh.
For those of you expecting to see 60 minutes, you're watching the NFL on CBS. The Raiders against the Chargers. Andrew Catalan, Steve Tasker, Steve Berline with you. 60 minutes will be seen in its entirety immediately following this game, except on the West Coast. Chargers have made it a 2-possession game. 6 minutes remain. Josh Lambo appears to be setting up for another onside kick. Chargers tried one earlier, did not recover. 2 timeouts left for San Diego. Lambo's kick last time was good. Bounced high up in the air. Chargers just could not recover. This time, right to Rivera, who has it and runs out. So it'll be Oakland football, and we're going to go back to New York. An NFL Today update with JB and Bart Scott.
Dallas ties it up. This is the ensuing kickoff.
The seesaw battle continues as Dwayne Harris, former Dallas Cowboy, acts some revenge, takes it 100 yards to go up and regain the lead 27-20 in the Meadowlands.
5:18 and counting down in regulation. Back to Andrew, Steve, and Steve.
Wild one at MetLife Stadium. Thank you, guys. Here in San Diego, 37-21. Raiders have the ball back, and they'll start this drive at the Chargers 49. Latavius Murray trying to get around the outside, and he cannot. Picks up a couple. 2 weeks, 2 top teams. The Dolphins take on Tom Brady and the Patriots on CBS and NFL Network, and then the following week, the Browns meet the undefeated Bengals only on NFL Network. Chargers have used a timeout, so they have 1 remaining with 5:52 to go.
And this is one of the things we've been talking about over the break, guys, is that the Raiders completely have dominated this ball game, but the last 2 drives defensively they've obviously let up. And the Chargers have marched the ball right down the field. A couple of blown assignments right there at the end on the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. Neither of those guys were even covered. They've kind of lost their focus. Maybe they've got some backup players in there, whatever the reason. But Jack Del Rio knows that if they don't at least hold the football here, they've got to turn it up a notch on defense.
Empty backfield on 2nd and 9. Carr looking for Cooper, incomplete. Good coverage on the play by Jason Verrett.
And as you know, as we all know, the best defense is sitting on the sideline. Getting first downs, keep the defense sitting down, let them rest and keep the clock going. Why would they throw a pass? A lot of questions you can ask right now.
Completely agree. The Chargers didn't have to use a timeout because of the incompletion. Well, here's one other thing to take into account. The Raiders have not been in this situation too many times over the last couple of years.
That's true.
Trying to kill out a clock with a big lead.
They're not a well-oiled machine in their 4-minute offense.
Big 3rd down and 9 with 5:50 to go. Carr has time. Fires sideline. Crabtree makes the catch. And let's see where they spot it. That's going to be very close.
I think he's got it.
Got it, yeah.
And he was smart not to turn and run out of bounds as well. You see him just catch it and sit down right there. It was a very smart play by the veteran Michael Crabtree.
And they have moved the chains for an Oakland first down.
And every time, every positive play offensively for the Raiders is one more nail in the finish of the Chargers, and they've got to get the football back, and the Raiders aren't letting it happen.
Halou on the carry, inside 5 minutes to go. And San Diego has used its final timeout with 4:58 on the clock. Next Sunday, the NFL on CBS rocks regional games. In one matchup, the Bengals battle the Steelers while the Chargers take on the Ravens. Titans take on the Texans. Jets square off with these Raiders. Check your local listings, and of course, it all begins with your Super Bowl 50 team. JB, Tony, Bart, Coach, and Boomer on the NFL Today. Latavius Murray on that last carry, picked up 3, 2nd down and 7 with 4:58 to go. Phillip Rivers has the most wins of any quarterback against the Raiders with 14 all time. John Elway's second with 13, but Rivers does not look like he's going to add to his total, barring a miracle comeback here. 2nd down and 7.
Down! We're waiting! What's up?
Murray again. Clock will continue to tick. Chargers cannot stop it. It'll be 3rd down and short.
The Raiders will milk every second off this clock at this point. If you're the Chargers, you're coming into this game 2-4, and they're at the easiest part of their schedule. 5 straight games, this being the first of teams under 500. Could not be more disappointing to Phillip Rivers, Mike McCoy, and the Chargers to start this run off this way. They were hoping to get healthy over this 5-game stretch, not bury themselves deeper.
What's up?
3rd down and 4. Murray again. And Murray is stuffed. A flag comes in. A little extracurricular after the play with Ingram and Donald Penn. Melvin Ingram has to calm down. The last thing he wants to do is give Oakland a first down after the Chargers defense has stopped Murray on 3rd.
This was a very late flag coming in from the far side after the extra pushing and shoving came in. Actually, it was at the end of the play.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both against the offense. Holding, offense, number 72, that penalty is declined. After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense, number 72. 15-yard penalty, 4th down.
Both against Donald Penn,
and
the
they lose the
10-year
down.
veteran. They lose the down.
And the yardage for the field goal.
Exactly.
They're out of field goal range now. That's an enormous penalty.
2-possession game, you would have had to think that Del Rio would have sent out Janikowski for a field goal, try to get it back to a 3-possession game, but because of the penalties, Oakland's backed up to the 47-yard line, and they have to punt instead.
And the reason why it's still 4th down is that was a dead ball penalty after the play. That's what Jack Del Rio's asking. It still be 3rd down.
It's not, though. The play had been blown dead, and then Penn need.
If they took the holding penalty, it would still be 3rd down, but the unsportsmanlike conduct after the play, that plays in the books. It's an extracurricular activity.
That's why Ingram was so upset. Donald Penn giving him the extra business after the play was over while he was down on the ground. He got up.
Well, now they appear to be changing it, though, as the Oakland offense is coming back out.
Both fouls are there, but it was during the play. So the correct down is 3rd down.
Wow, so good job by Del Rio to plead his case.
Yeah, I mean, he knows more than we do. I'm sitting here thinking the 3rd down play is over. They're accepting the penalty, which was after the play had ended.
Well, now they've got a chance to at least get back inside Janikowski's field goal range, and he's got the longest. He's got one of the biggest legs in the National Football League, so anything inside of 60, I think they can give it a shot. Mike McCoy not happy.
That's what Mike McCoy is upset about.
And Mike McCoy not happy. He thought it was 4th and long. Instead, it's 3rd and 19.
They're going to talk about it right now.
While they talk about it, let's go back to New York. Our officiating expert, Mike Carey. Mike, how do you see this?
Well, there are 2 fouls. The holding is a live ball foul. If they decline that and the dead ball foul is accepted, the down rolls over to 4th down and should be a 4th down play.
That's exactly what I thought. Jack Del Rio, that's what Mike McCoy is.
And that's what Jerome Boger explained when he first announced, and then Jack Del Rio got his attention and seems to have affected that decision.
The ball is dead at this point. The hold already happened, and now we have the dead ball altercation. So the down is over. So that dead ball foul will be enforced, and the down will count, should roll to 4th.
3rd down.
Well, that is very, very confusing. And if I'm Mike McCoy, I'm very upset about that. We just heard from the NFL officiating expert, Mike Carey, that's a dead ball foul. The down should be in the books, and it should be 4th down.
Instead, it's 3rd and 19. Thank you very much, Mike. And now we have another stoppage, and Oakland has called timeout.
And he's going to call. I guess it's a timeout. He's not going to continue to talk with the official about this. But it was announced as a dead ball foul. If it is a dead ball foul, the down counts.
Clock is stopped with 4:10 to go. Tonight on CBS begins with 60 Minutes and a look inside the U.S. air war against ISIS, plus an interview with Vice President Biden. That's followed by new episodes of Madam Secretary, The Good Wife, and CSI Cyber, only CBS. Mike McCoy still hot on the San Diego sideline.
And rightfully so. The only I think defense of the call as it is if maybe they're ruling that it was not a dead ball penalty, but I thought they said it was a dead ball penalty.
Down! Blue widen! What's up?
3rd and 19. Raiders running the ball, so they keep the clock moving with Murray. And now out of field goal range, Jack Del Rio has not set the punt team out just yet. Now he does. Flowers and Crabtree having a little conversation. Let's go back to New York again. Mike Carey has more.
Yes, I talked to Dean Blandino, and what he's saying is that Jeff Seaman, who called the foul, said that it wasn't the pushing and shoving after the ball was dead. It was that during the play, the offensive man threw the defensive man down the ground and then kneed him during the live action. So that's why they went back and put it on the play and remained 3rd down.
Okay,
all right, Mike calling Dean Blandino, the Vice President of Officiating for the National Football League, to get clarification. We appreciate that, Mike and Dean, as Oakland is called timeout. So another look at the play. They're saying the foul occurred right here during the
first
play.
Foul, and then the knee right there is still during the play, not after the play.
So that's why it was still 3rd down and not 4th down. And now on 4th down, Marquette King is getting ready to punt.
I'll buy that. That makes sense.
Well, yeah, and it looked on the replay, and we don't have the live action, so we can't say when the whistle blew. So the knee, the pin put into Ingram, obviously, was during the play before the whistle.
Jacoby Jones has 4 career punt returns for touchdowns. He's awaiting the kick from King at his own 12-yard line. This one bounces and goes into the end zone, so San Diego will start at the 20. Well, been a physical game here, an AFC West battle between the Raiders and the Chargers.
Right there early in the game, the helmet ripped off Donald Butler, and then a lot of little kick action right there that Corey Legion's going to be hearing from the NFL about, we're sure. Charles Woodson with a great cleanup play at the end. Very, very clean play. And then a lot of festivities as the game gets down to the wire, down the stretch. The frustration builds a little bit. Boys will be boys.
13 penalties against the Raiders for 132 yards. Season high in penalty yardage. No timeouts for San Diego. 1st and 10, Rivers to Woodhead. Woodhead with some blockers, and Woodhead gets to the 27-yard line.
Danny Woodhead leads the NFL in yards after catch by over 100 yards over his closest opponent, which is Mark Ingram down in New Orleans, but he's dangerous when he gets that ball in his hands.
And Rivers incomplete.
Yeah, the Raiders defensively will give yards. They want everything in front of them. You can bet that it's going to be short passes and long runs.
Tough day for Phillip Rivers, coming off the record-setting performance last week in Lambeau. Different story here today. 29 of 48 for 253 yards. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions for Rivers on 3rd and 3. Has some time, fires to a wide open Keenan Allen, who has the first down. At the 42-yard line, a gain of 15. San Diego cannot stop the clock. They will get the 2-minute warning. No huddle is nothing new for San Diego. 3rd most plays out of the no huddle in the NFL. Woodhead out of bounds. The only teams to go no huddle more than the Chargers this year, the Eagles and the Giants.
And we're at the point in the ball game too where now the Raiders are in prevent mode. Totally no timeouts left for San Diego. The only stoppage is the 2-minute warning. They're going to let them complete passes underneath in the middle of the field and just let the clock burn as much as they possibly can.
Keenan Allen to midfield. It'll be 3rd down and short, and I don't know if the Chargers will be able to get off another play before the 2-minute warning. They're hustling to the line, and Rivers has said he will. Hands off to Woodhead, who picks up the first down. 2-minute warning in San Diego. Chargers driving, they trail by 16. Tonight on 60 Minutes, a look inside the U.S. air war against ISIS, plus an interview with Vice President Biden. That'll be followed by new episodes of Madam Secretary, The Good Wife, and CSI Cyber, only CBS. 1:57 to go. Chargers have no timeouts remaining. 2-possession game. They trail by 16. On 1st and 10. Rivers to Woodhead. Woodhead to the 40. Cuts back to the 35. Woodhead with another San Diego first down. They have to hustle to the line. They cannot stop the clock. Rivers takes the snap with 1:37 on the clock. In trouble. Rivers throws it. And incomplete. He was outside the pocket. Shelby Harris, who was just promoted off the practice squad yesterday, applying the pressure.
And Phillip Rivers was trying to get this ball. He had 2 receivers, Danny Woodhead being one right there, and Darius Green, the tight end, in front of him. There were 2 receivers in the vicinity where he was trying to go with that football. He just got hit.
Yeah, Joe Barksdale, right tackle, was slow getting up. Now he's going to have to come off the field as the training staff comes out to attend to him. Now the Chargers are regressing back to a point where they almost didn't have enough guys to put in the game. However, Chris Harrison will come in, play right tackle, finish out this game. And the Chargers' injury woes just will not go away.
And Barksdale's the one guy who's been healthy the whole year. He's played every game. In fact, he leads all NFL tackles and snaps. So the one guy they've been able to count on has to walk off with 1:31 to go.
Well, Phillip Rivers taking snaps out of the shotgun, trying to finish this out and get another touchdown on the board and just, hey, see what happens.
Another screen to Woodhead. To the 30, Woodhead reverses field. Great job after the catch by Danny Woodhead for another San Diego first down.
And the Raider defense right now is just in hang-on mode.
Complete prevent mode is what it
they're
is.
Complete soft. They're just trying to knock everything out, make tackles in bounds.
Here it is again. Rivers to Woodhead, out of bounds at the 18-yard line. Well, to start the week, the Chargers had the easiest schedule of any team in the NFL the rest of the way. Actually tied with the Jaguars for the worst win percentage of their opponents. And you see what they have coming up. This was the first of 5 against teams with losing records. .105 to go. It's 2nd and 7. Rivers. Flag is down. Rivers just throws this away. Barksdale back in the game. And it's going to be holding against San Diego.
Well, I got to tell you, after the penalty.
Offense, number 60. 10-yard penalty. Replay, 2nd down.
Phillip Rivers threw 65 passes last week. That right there was his 55th pass today. I've got to believe that's the highest 2-game total, or at least right up there
in NFL
history.
He told us Friday, I don't think I'll throw it 65 times again. Well, we got 55 and counting.
And still time on the clock.
Following the penalty, 2nd and 17. Rivers over the middle, and there is Keenan Allen to the 11-yard line. It's first down.
Now here's where the Raider defense, you expect them to get a little bit more aggressive.
Rivers, end zone. Allen, flag is down. Did he get his feet down? Oh, they're going to say pass interference.
I don't know if I saw that.
Pass interference. Offense, number 13. 10-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
They never gave a signal if it was a touchdown, but obviously it doesn't matter because his penalty goes against Keenan Allen, who once again, even though it doesn't count, makes a highlight reel catch. Had one last week at Lambeau.
Let's see if there's any kind of a push off. That is not a push off.
No.
And that's a touchdown.
And that's a touchdown.
That's not a push off.
No, that's a swim move. They're just hand fighting. It's a hand fighting and to get himself turned around. I don't think that was a good call at all.
Takes a touchdown off the board. Screen to Woodhead with 30 seconds to go. Woodhead trying to get out of bounds. He can't. To the 11.
Yeah, that was a crusher there. He needed to get out of bounds, and those last 2 feet are going to mean.
The Raiders were not set. They had too many men on the field. The flag is down.
That's the quick snap was Rivers. He just snapped it and threw it down and turned around and said they got 12. And not only did they have 12, one of them was in the Charger backfield.
Men on the field. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Danny Woodhead has set a career high with 10 catches today, although the last one really hurt that he was not able to get out of bounds. Chargers have the ball at the 6-yard line. There's 10 seconds on the clock. Rivers to Woodhead for the touchdown. 6 seconds remain. San Diego has to go for 2. Try to make it a 1-possession game. Second receiving touchdown of the day for Danny Woodhead. His 12th in his career.
Well, we said it right before halftime. I mean, Phillip Rivers is going to keep slinging, and you said he's pushing 60 pass attempts now once again. And, he's just going to keep throwing and see what happens. I mean, he can't play defense. All he can do is take snaps and throw to the open guy. He's done that, got a quick penalty on the on the 12 men, gives his team every opportunity to win here in the second half, but the hole they dug was just too deep.
Trying to make it a 2-possession game. 2-point play is good again to Ladarius Green. Looked a lot like the last 2-point play. And now an onside kick coming with 6 seconds left. You got to think best case scenario for the Chargers, get the kick, throw up a Hail Mary.
Yeah, and that's all they've got left to hope for. I would say the odds are not in their favor, but you never know. I mean, it obviously could happen.
Well, a couple of things. First of all, if they had given Keenan Allen that touchdown and not called offensive pass interference, there would have been a lot more time on the clock. And the second one, even though Woodhead's had a big day, he's got to get out of bounds there on that catch around the 10-yard line.
Well, when we get to that point.
But that was after the Keenan Allen touchdown catch, so that time would have all been on the clock
We
as
knew
well.
in the first half everything was going to have to go right for the Chargers in the second half. And he also kind of could figure, particularly in the last fourth series, the Raiders kind of took a deep breath and said, all right, we're going to hang on here. And you see there 123 pass attempts in the last 2 games. Since 1950, that's a long time.
Most in a 2-game span. Phillip Rivers throwing it 58 times today after he threw it 65 last week. All right, third onside kick attempt for the Chargers today. 0 for 2 so far. Can they get this one and throw up a Hail Mary? Rivera has it, and that will do it. Michael Rivera had a hand in all 3 of those onside kicks.
And for me, this is the same onside, the same thing they've done twice before. After one time, you'd think they'd throw a wrinkle. To give the same look 3 times in a row is just too easy to defend for the Raiders. I think the Chargers missed an opportunity by not having a bigger menu of trick onsides, but by the same token,
you don't
no matter
go
how
to a
you
game.
slice it.
They don't go to a game expecting to kick 3 onside kicks.
That is correct.
Very often.
That is correct.
San Diego had won 3 straight versus Oakland. And the Raiders are able to stop the streak. They win in San Diego for the first time in 4 years. And Oakland has matched its win total from all of last season. Tonight on CBS begins with 60 Minutes, followed by new episodes of Madam Secretary, The Good Wife, and CSI Cyber.